How's going, guys? Welcome to the channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto got harem with Batgirl, Supergirl, Artemis and Poison Ivy, Part 2. Huge shout out to the First Kitsukage for this story. If you wants to see awesome fanfiction like this, don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Bruce Wayne looked at the report of his destroyed building. It was a miracle that no one died or was hurt for that matter. It would cost a lot to rebuild and keep the workers on paid leave, but it didn't matter to him, not even a dent in his pocket. Sometime later he was at Mount Justice. Robin had told him that Payne took responsibility for the destruction of one of his branches. He needed answers, so he was going to get them from the one person who could provide them, Artemis. However, answers would have to wait. It seemed Gorilla Grodd was up to his old monkey business. With Payne he was in front of his monitor as always, monitoring anything and everything going on in the world. It didn't faze him nor surprise him when a pair of arms wrapped around him. "When will you end this little game of yours and join me in my bed, Naruto?" asked a woman's voice. "When you stop trying to take over the world?" Payne answered without hesitation. The woman smirked. "Where's the fun in that?" she asked playfully. "Are you not going to take over the world?" she asked. "No. I intend to lead it to peace. If I must, I will directly rule for a while." Payne's monitor came to life, showing him Gorilla Grodd and his gorillas working on some machine that was on the top of a Star Labs building. "I must go now, leave the way you came in," he told her coldly. The woman pouted behind him. "You must learn to lighten up a bit. I'll be in my bed waiting for you to enjoy life with a real woman." The woman left the way she came in, via a portal she made. Payne shrugged. "Women," he said out loud. Then in a vortex he was gone, going to Coast City where Grodd was. Payne made it to Coast City with little effort. He was on top a building next to the Star Labs building. He saw about 8 gorillas and Grodd all working on a machine, most likely a devolver that Grodd likes to work on to devolve humanity. Payne almost smiled, for hating humans much Grodd sure acts like them. Payne then, in a flash, was on the building the gorillas were on right dead center of them. "A penny for the stranger," he said. That got all of the gorillas' attention as they stopped what they were doing and looked at the hooded masked man. You're not Flash!" The lead gorilla, that Payne ID'd as Grodd, yelled him. "Thank the sage for that." Payne just commented. "Destroy him!" Grodd yelled. All of his gorillas charged at Payne. Payne just stood there and in an instant, all of the gorillas stopped. Payne was crouched with his hand extended and a trichon eye all bloody. Then the next second all of Grodd's soldiers were on the ground, dead. "You insolent human! How dare you kill my soldiers!" Grodd was pissed. Payne just tilted his head. "For hating humans so much you sure act like them far more than you think. You believe all life that is not gorilla is inferior to your own. You believe that your race is superior to any other, so that taking the life of something that is not a gorilla means nothing to you. You are no better than the human race which you hate so much." All of Payne's words, true as they are, pissed off Grodd more and more so than him even being there. "I will destroy you with my own 2 hands. Yes, another thing you overlook in your egotistical rant. While I was talking with you, I've destroyed your machine," Payne stated calmly. "What?" Grodd looked back only to see his devolve was nothing more than scrap metal. "Why you?" Grodd stopped, and looked down to see a black rod sticking out of his chest. "Again, your ego and pride cost you your life, Grodd. You took your eyes off a ninja that is the same as signing your death warrant." Payne then grabbed the rod and energized it with lighting chakra. "Ah!" Grodd, in a pain scream, used his strength to grab Payne's neck. "I'll snap your neck, human!" Grodd yelled at him. "A small problem with that, Grodd," Payne said from behind him and a safe distance away. "That's just a clone of me, rigged to blow." Grodd's eyes widened. "Shadow clone smash!" Boom! The smoke clear, with a little help from a news chopper, and there was Grodd, 1 arm less thanks to Payne. It took a full moment before he realized the pain of having his arm blown off. "Ah!" Grodd's scream could be felt from miles away. Payne was not done. He created some chakra chains and wrapped it around Grodd's neck. "I'm a ninja, not a hero, Grodd. I will attack you with your back turned if I can, And I hope in your next life you learn that lesson well. Pain lifted Grodd off the ground and then dropped over the side of the building, then yanked it hard, snapping Grodd's neck, and the news chopper caught it all on tape. Pain stepped near the edge where Grodd's body was hanging from. Pain allowed his chakra chains to lose their power and allowed Grodd's body to fall 20 stories down and go splat. Pain! Pain heard the unmistakable, angry voice of Superman. There was no need to do that. He was a criminal, but you had no right to kill him. Superman yelled at the young man. Pain lifted up one finger. 1 is the magic number, Superman, was all he responded with. It was then that Pain noticed a large number of other heroes. The most notable was the first 7 JLA members. Pain wondered, if so many were here about to fight him, what of their own cities? We are bringing you to justice, Pain, Superman yelled. Can you? He asked. Can you bring me to your justice? You could no more bring me to your justice than anyone else for the matter. Even if you defeat me, I'll live to fight another day. Where I'm from, 9 times out of 10 defeat means death. So take a guess what happens when I beat you. Pain told him with no nonsense in his voice. We will bring you to justice, Pain. You're more dangerous than every other villain in the world. I am. No. Villain. Pain's power spiked. But if you wish to view me as such, I can play the part. Pain did the only thing a person like him could do and still be considered normal. He walked off the edge of the building. He fell the full 20 stories down, but missed the Grodd splatter on the ground. When he landed, he didn't shatter anything, any glass, and concrete, nothing. Very well, he said. Our battlefield will be in the park, less collateral damage there. In a flash, he was at the center of the park. He waited a full second before he saw any of the JLA members. Them being Flash and Superman, he figured that the rest would come soon enough. Play Naruto Shippuden AMB, the power of a god. Sure enough, soon enough came. In front of him was Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the rest of the first 7, and at least 15 other heroes. Pain smiled. They wouldn't pull any punches here. But despite their brave front they were putting up, he saw something is that lives on in all beings: fear. It was obvious that some of the other heroes remembered the little visit that Madara gave them last year, and if by the fear that these heroes are giving off, Batman must have told them of him and Madara being the same person. He expected Batman of all people to figure that out first. Pain started to walk slowly at first. Pain saw some heroes get into their stances. Some started to pray to whatever god they believe in as he got closer. Some even bringing up all of their anger to fight him, a monster of a man. It was then that Pain decided to run to them, as he is not the type to sit and wait. Manhunter! Focus on him, don't lose him! Superman, Aquaman, Black Canary, Flash, Wonder Woman engage in close combat. Everyone else support and long range. Batman yelled his orders. That won't save you! Pain yelled, being right in front of the small group of heroes. Superman was in front of the hero line, ready to punch Pain's lights out. Superman's fist was a mere inch away from Pain's face. Pain could only smile. Perfect! Superman's fist and his whole body simply phased through Pain. Pain, once fully past Superman, moved to punch Wonder Woman. However, she used her own strength and skill to block the attack. She was, however, struggling to hold Pain at bay with both her hands against just his one. What power! She thought right before Pain unleashed a fury of punches and kicks to her body and head, sending her back. Aquaman came next, using his trident as his weapon of choice to attack Pain. Pain just casually moved out of the way of each one of Aquaman's strikes. Aquaman even decided to use his water manipulation into his attacks, when he brought down his trident with a torrent of water bearing down on Pain. However, he just allowed the water to pass right through him. Then Pain kicked Aquaman in the gut, sending him flying into the trees. Flash tried his luck. Using his speed, he tried to punch Pain 100 times. However, he was not counting on Pain being able to keep up with him. What? You can keep up with the Speed Force? He asked out loud. The question is, not whether I can keep up with you, but can you keep with me? Pain unleashed his own flurry of punches. The last few managed to hit home, and Pain sent him through many trees. Pain just smiled, as 3 arrows went right through his head. Pain took a look at Green Arrow. Damn that power of his! Green Arrow yelled as he fired 3 more arrows. Pain let them phase through him and then fried his own black rods at Green Arrow. Green Arrow jumped out of their path before he could be littered with holes. Batman threw a few of his batarangs at Pain. They just went through him like everything else. However, when a green hammer came down on Pain, he jumped out of the way. Batman saw this. Why did he just and not let it phase through him like the rest? It is because he had to jump because of how big the hammer construct was? Or because he couldn't use his ability? He had to know. Pain had just defeated a few more of the no-name heroes that had accompanied the group. Oh! Pain looked to his left to see a mace. Perfect! The mace phased through his head, but his hand grabbed Hawkgirl's head, then slammed her into the ground. It's over, Hawkgirl! Hawkman tried to hit him with his mace, but again it phased right through his head. Pain let go of Hawkgirl and did a spin kick to Hawkman's head, sending him crashing into a few trees before he crashed into a bridge in the park. With Pain's attention on Hawkman's form, being sent into a small bridge, she managed to get out from under him. Pain didn't take any mind to Hawkgirl's retreat. He turned to his new opponent, a beautiful blonde-haired woman. She was a screamer for sure. A sonic scream was sent Pain's way. Wind style, barrier wall! The air around Pain was charged with his chakra, making a wall of wind, and it blocked the scream that Black Canary sent his way. Pain smiled at her attempt and used his speed to appear in front of her. She managed to block his first attack. Impressive, he said to her. She blocked 2 more attacks before he managed to hit her in her stomach. Most impressive, he said out loud to her. Impressed that she managed to do much with her normal speed and strength. Superman was back. It was evident when he had to use his Kamui ability to avoid Superman's Super Widowmaker. Your attacks are straightforward and predictable. You'll never hit me like that, he told the Man of Steel. Superman just fired his heat vision at Pain. Pain moved out of the way. Again, this was noticed by Batman. Both Superman and Pain engaged in CQC. However, Pain is far more skilled than Superman ever will be and knocked back with a powerful punch to the chest. Superman was shocked that he felt it. You feel that, Superman? Pain asked somewhat cryptically. It's your mortally. You've never felt pain unless magic or your weakness of kryptonite was being used. But unlike everyone else you've faced, I need not such things to harm you, let alone kill you, Pain said to him. Superman wiped his mouth of blood. He used his speed and tried to punch Pain, but he just phased through him like everything else has. Pain caught him in his churka chains. He did a spin and entangled Superman in the chains. Chains? You're funny. Superman tried to break the chains with his might. Good luck with that. Not even the strongest being in the world could break them, and you are nowhere near as strong as him, Pain said. Then sent lighting and fire chakra into the chains to give Superman a little jump. The reaction he got was what he wanted. Superman screaming in pain, but not just the act itself, but it being videotaped by the news choppers overhead and being seen all around the world. You may be super, however you are but just a man. Just then a sword phased through Pain from top to bottom. It seemed Wonder Woman just tried to end him, or make him move. However, he had to grab her hand when she tried to punch him. Then he grabbed her other hand when she raised it up. You're strong warrior princess, but you are not strong enough. Don't underestimate the power of an Amazon, she yelled and broke free from his grip and grabbed his neck. Everyone, Batman and Wonder Woman mostly, was shocked. Someone had managed to get a hand on Pain. Wonder Woman got over her shock almost instantly, and gave him one hell of a punch to his face. His churka chains faded and he crashed into a large rock, shattering it to dust. All right, Wonder Woman, Flash said, appearing at her side. Many of the other heroes that weren't injured followed suit. While everyone was waiting for the dust to clear, Batman was analyzing what he had witnessed. Why could he use his intangibility skill with most things but not some other things? Why did he dodge some attacks and allow others to phase through him? Then there was the greatest question of them all. Why was Wonder Woman able to touch him and hit him when the rest of the team had yet to even touch him? He would review the tape and everything later at the Batcave. You're right. I did underestimate you, Amazon Princess. No, Amazon Warrior Princess. You are truly worthy of such a title. Being able to land a blow on me is no small feat. Pain emerged from the dust cloud, no worse for wear. But such a blow could never be enough to harm one such as me. Pain smiled from behind his mask. I have an idea, Superman, Wonder Woman. Batman called to the two other leaders of the Justice League. What is it, Batman? Superman asked. I think that I've figured out his power to allow things to phase through him. He told them. I need more information before I can be certain, he said. Then I think that we can give you some info you need. Green Arrow said as he and Black Carney stood up along with Hal Jordan, Hawkman and Hawkgirl and lastly Huntress. You think that you can do it? Batman asked, never taking his eyes off Pain who, for some reason, hadn't moved. Of course we can, Black Canary said, wanting a rematch with Pain. Do what you can. If I'm right, I can come up with a plan to defeat him, Batman said. The small group that decided to engage Pain walked/flew forward. Only the first 7 and the aforementioned group were all that were left, the rest taking their wounded back to the watchtower. I'm first. Huntress fired her mini crossbows at Pain, explosive bolts to be exact. All Pain did was allow them to pass right through him. Almost instantly both Hawkman and Hawkgirl swung their mace at Pain's head. Pain just bent backward to avoid the attacks. He then saw a large green hammer coming down on him. Using his speed, Pain moved out of the way. Green Arrow was right in front of him, an arrow pointed right at his head. Green Arrow released the arrow, and it passed right through him. Damn your powers! Green Arrow yelled, trying to hit Pain with his bow, but Pain backhanded the bow, shattering it. Green Arrow jumped to the side when 2 arrowheads came from behind Green Arrow, going straight for Pain. Pain allowed them to pass right through him. He again jumped back when Green Lantern attacked him with a fist construct. Damn! I'm using too much chakra on these so-called heroes, he thought to himself. He looked up to see Black Canary coming down on him. He had to jump out of the way again. Even though I haven't used so much as 10% of my overall chakra, I've already used too much toying with these cretins. I should have just ended it, but I will not murder them. Such a pity my own honor code prevents me from doing that right now. When he did another hop back, both Hawkman and Hawkgirl had swung their maces once more. Don't they ever learn? He asked himself. He got his answer when he felt a presence behind him. Perfect. He used Kamui to avoid the kick. A purple boot went through him, and soon after that Huntress passed through him from her own momentum. However, the twin maces, he couldn't use Kamui. He used his black rods to stop them. He noticed their smile, both of them. A green beam of light was fired at him. Using Kamui at the last second, he avoided the attack. He was soon raised up by Superman smashing the ground. Both Hawkgirl and Hawkman moved away during this time. Pain saw a shadow above him. With the speed of Wonder Woman, the shadow above him, and the raising earth underneath him, he couldn't jump out of the way or use Kamui. Got him. We timed this just right. He can't dodge or use that intangible ability of his. Batman thought out loud. BOM. Smoke was kicked up as Wonder Woman smashed into her foe. She smiled. He was a worthy opponent indeed, she thought. Her smile ended when she saw what she had punched. It wasn't the orange mask like she thought she would have hit, but a red-orange metal-like bone. She was then punched back to the Justice League by a massive red-orange fire hand. Wonder Woman! Batman and Superman yelled as he saw her crash into a rock. I'm alright, but this fight is not over, she told them as she got up. The dust cleared a bit, only to reveal a fox-like metal bone structure, the upper half, covered in a red-orange fire-like skin. It had 2 claws-like hands to boot, with a pair of long horns around 20 feet long on the head, with a pair of tusks coming out of the corner of its mouth. Its red eyes and unnerving fanged smile put all of the remaining JLA members on edge. What in Hera's name is that? Wonder Woman asked. Pain was, however, impressed but not amused anymore. I'm surprised you've brought this out of me. Susanoo grew 2 more claw-like arms, and now each had grew even longer claws. Playtime is over, he said ominously. What the hell? We barely managed to land a blow on him, and now he comes up with this thing. Flash yelled. Annoyed by this person that, he dare not say aloud, was faster than him. I'm afraid I did not hit him, Flash. He manifested this new power before I managed to land a blow on him. Wonder Woman told him. Damn it! Now we still haven't hit him, and now he has a new power that he brought out. Flash whined. Pain smiled. In the seal he could hear Kyubi roar with laughter, saying something like, Take that, you Uchiha ass whip. Your grandson made a mockery of your Susanoo and made it look like my almighty form, or something along those lines. But with much cursing involved. The strategy you choose is irrelevant. Nothing will faze me. This battle ends here and now. He could feel that somewhere in hell Madara was proud of him. He knew his grandfather wasn't in heaven right now. How do we do this? Superman asked. As a team. I'm guessing, but now that he brought this out, he can no longer make himself intangible. Meaning was can now hit him with all we got. Batman told them. That's all well and good, Batman, but when I hit him I didn't so much as make a dent in the armor. Wonder Woman told him. Maybe Superman can break open this one. The Manhunter asked. Worth a shot. Green Arrow said out loud. Make it interesting this time. Pain said as he launched a pair of his Susanoo's claw arms at the JLA group. They scattered. Flash came up first and started unleashing dozens of punches at once. Pain barely registered that he was doing such a thing and shooed him away. Flash managed to get away before he was destroyed by Susanoo's claw. We can hit him now! Flash yelled to the rest of the team. Pain continued to swing his claws at the Justice League members. He felt the maces of the two avian heroes smash into his Susanoo, but to little effect. Such weapons couldn't touch him as he is now. He saw Green Arrow, with his replacement bow most likely thanks to Batman, and hunters tried to fire their arrows at him. Even with explosive bolts they did nothing to him or his Susanoo. Don't bother wasting your arrows on me now. You are no more than ants trying to stop a tidal wave, Pain told them. He was then shook off balance when he felt a hammer of an attack hit Susanoo. It was Superman, and he landed a good punch on Susanoo's head. Pain smiled and attacked Superman, but Superman's speed saved him. Hump, this ought to make you dance. Pain swatted away Aquaman and Green Lantern. He then fired dozens of fireballs all over the place, making Green Arrow and Huntress displaced to avoid being cooked. However, he felt that he was missing something. He put it out of his mind for now. It was then that both Wonder Woman and Superman hit him square in the chest, Susanoo's chest. It made a small crack. Pain smiled as they retreated before he could attack back. I'm surprised you've lasted this long against me. Here's your reward. Small meteorites were fired at the Justice League team. As the claws on his Susanoo grew bigger, he attacked with all three of his abilities. Susanoo's claws, his great fire annihilation, and his planetary devastation. Pain hit Hawkman to the ground and he landed hard. This is the end for you, Pain said, bringing down a claw to end him. Hawkman! Hawkgirl yelled as she raced to save her counterpart. She managed to save him before the claw could finish the job. Screech! A high-pitched screech came from in front of Pain, alerted him of Black Carney's presence. He suffered from the attack as he had no time to put up a wind defense. The cracks in Susanoo grew bigger. Great! Oh! Pain looked up after he recovered from the sound attack. He saw Superman and Wonder Woman rushed him at full speed. Pain moved his forearms to prevent them from making the crack any bigger. However, his effort was stopped by the Green Lantern, both Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and lastly Aquaman and Flash. Fire style. Great fire annihilation. Pain fired a large stream of fire at his two aggressors. However, the team was ready for that as well. A combo of explosive arrows and batarangs, tornadoes, and a screech snuffed it out before it could do any damage. Smash! Both Superman and Wonder Woman hit the large crack on Susanoo that protected Pain. The crack grew and grew. They smashed it a bit more and the crack grew even more. Enough! Pain yelled and forced the two back and the five heroes that were holding his arms. Huh! He had felt a tug on his left arm. Looked to his left arm. It was a gold rope. Gotcha! Wonder Woman pulled on her lasso of truth. It was then that Pain realized what he had been missing. The Martian. He had not made an appearance since the fight started. he had been hiding waiting for the right moment. He was most likely the one that put the lasso on him. He was forced from Susanoo through the crack and it shattered open. Susanoo soon dissipated into nothing, being dragged out into the open by Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, and for some reason he couldn't use Kamui, most likely due to the lasso's power. "Now!" Batman yelled. Batman threw a dozen batarangs, Green Lantern fired a green energy blast, Aquaman fired a torrent of water, Black Canary unleashed her canary cry, Huntress and Green Arrow fired their explosive arrows, Flash made a pair of tornadoes with his arms, both Hawkman and Hawkgirl tossed their mace, Wonder threw her shield and Superman fired his heat vision all at Pain. Pain watched slowly as everything the JLA had was launched at him. Slowly the powers of the combined might of the groups sent to arrest him was barreling down at him. He watched as slowly the powers of the greatest of this world's heroes had to offer. The powers he watched with his lone eye. Then it changed. Formed the ever-infamous Sharingan to the even more fabled and legendary Rinnegan. "Boom! Got them!" Flash yelled. Everyone 5-5'd each other. Aside from Wonder Woman and Batman, many wondered if Pain could even have survived that. Darkseid would have been near death if hit by all that. "That was quite dangerous," everyone heard Pain say. The dust and smoke cleared, only to reveal Pain without injury. "What? How? Impossible! Great Hera! What is he? Had I allowed all that to hit me, even I would have been injured," Pain said to them. Batman was calculating everything. He knew that he couldn't use that intangible ability, as they timed everything just right, and he theorized that Wonder Woman's lasso of truth would prevent that from happening. He then noticed that Pain's eye had changed. It was no longer red with a 9-thin line in a swirl whirlpool pattern. Now it was sliver with many rings. "I cannot allow this fight to go on any longer than it already has. Now watch closely." Pain clasped his hands together and created a surge of chakra that it was visible to everyone. For those who are magical in tune, they felt a sinister dark power coming from him. Soon they all saw Susanoo once more. Then Pain poured more power into his jutsu and Susanoo started to grow. Boom! Dust and smoke covered the area when Susanoo exploded in power. The smoke didn't need to clear to see what had happened. "Meet once more Susanoo. Its complete form." Susanoo was now complete. It was standing upright, think Naruto's tailed beast mode just with Susanoo's design, steel bones and 9 tails of course with red-orange fire that acts like skin. It lacks the 4 arms however. "This is the last dance of our little number heroes, don't blink, and if you happen to die, too bad." Susanoo charged up its own version of a tailed beast bomb, nowhere near as powerful as the Kyuubi's but strong enough to make a scene. Pain had already set up a barrier to protect the buildings and the people outside of the barrier. Even the chopper would be safe as it is on the outside of the barrier. "Shields up now!" Batman yelled to anyone who could put up a shield to protect them. "Susanoo bomb!" Pain yelled and fired. Boom! A small mushroom cloud covered the park area but never left out of the park area. Even the dirt, dust and rocks that were kicked up from the attack didn't leave the park area. The dust settled to reveal Pain standing over the defeated heroes. "I must admit, you are skilled enough to last a while facing me," Pain said. "But I can't allow you all to leave with the information you've managed to figure out." He lowered a black rod from his right sleeve. Pain walked up to the downed Batman. He knew that he was the one to do all of their planning. "And as my grandfather said, stick to the basics, take out the head." He poised his rod to kill Batman. He made his move to strike, only for the rod to be destroyed by Wonder Woman. She was worse for wear but the only one that could still fight back. "I'd figured you would be able to still stand," Pain hoped back. "But don't think you're a match for me as you are. You're weakened from battle even with your healing factor. I was known to fight for days at my full power. Something I have yet to do." "What hope do you have?" Pain asked. Wonder Woman just smirked and punched him. "That is my answer," she told him. Pain was shocked at first and just looked back at her. "I see, let's see what makes you dance," Pain said, bringing out 2 rods, one for each hand. Wonder Woman dodged Pain's attempt to cut her with his chakra rods, even blocking them with her bracers. Pain was relentless in his attacks and kicked Wonder Woman into a rock that was unearthed by the blast. Pain was on her, but she managed to recover. "Always the bravest of these heroes, you are Wonder Woman," he said while Wonder Woman was attacking him, but he was using his chakra rods to block her attacks. "But you could never make the hard decisions," Pain said, fighting back. He kicked her shield out of her hand. She then tried to punch him, but he ducked and did a spin. Using his chakra rod, he stabbed her in her right shoulder. The effect was instant. She lost all feeling in her right arm. She tried to give him a left hook, but Pain just knocked her hand away and kicked her. She was knocked down face first. Pain stabbed her in her other shoulder, dragging her on the ground. "You could have been gods, the lot of you," he told her. "But now, there can only be one." He raised another chakra rod to finish her off. It was then destroyed by an arrow, and Pain grabbed the other one aimed for his head. Yendi Naruto Shippuden AMB, the power of a god. Pain didn't need to look to know who it was. It was Artemis. She was the only one that had the courage to face him. She knew that he had a soft spot for her, and he wouldn't raise a hand to harm her, anything lasting at least. Pain, however, showed a great deal of, not hate, but rage. "Why, Artemis?" he asked. She rushed him with her bow blades. Her bow becomes two short swords, allowing for close combat. Pain stopped her blade. Unlike normal sliver, her blades were black, made by Pain himself. "Why protect them? Why save them?" he asked her. While she knew it was pointless to try and overpower Pain, she tried anyway. Her pride wouldn't allow her to do anything less. "You don't get it," she told him. "This isn't about them. This isn't about me saving them," she yelled. "This is about you. This is about me saving you. I don't want to save them, I want to save you." Pain's eyes widened. Artemis felt him no longer try to hold her sword at bay. Not that it would matter. "I want to save you from yourself. Before it's too late." Pain disengaged from her. He took a few steps back. "It's too late for me, Artemis. There is no saving me from myself. I was born into this world as I am. I was raised to be who I am today. Trained to be what I am. By the time I first saw the light, I was already a man, and by then, it was blinding." He forced her away. "That's not true." Pain looked at her again. He saw it in her eyes. She truly believed, no, she knew that he could be saved. "I know you, Pain, you told me yourself. That there is a chance for everyone that wants to redeem themselves, and it is up to that person or the people that care about that person to do it," she said to him. He narrowed his eye at her. Did he really say that? It sounds like him, but not him at the same time. "Don't think this will go unpunished, Artemis," he said, and he left in a vortex. However, this little talk didn't go unnoticed by the Justice League and everyone else watching at home. Everyone that had watched this little fight saw two very important things. That the will and a single man can bring down the Justice League, and that he has a weakness for a Green Arrow using heroin. And if anyone says Green Arrow, they were in for a world of hurt. Almost every villain and any secret government agency now wanted Pain and his power for themselves. Next day, Naruto was walking to Artemis' home. It was Monday again, so school was in full torture session. He made it to Artemis' apartment and knocked on the screen door. "It's open. Come from inside." Naruto smiled and walked in. "Hello, Paula." Naruto smiled and gave her a hug. "How was your weekend?" he asked the cribbed mother. She looked at him and bags under his eyes. "Naruto, are you getting enough sleep at night?" she asked the young man. "Of course I sleep. I just worked out more than I normally do yesterday is all." He played off. "Trying to man up for my baby girl?" Paula asked Naruto with a giggle. "What? No. No. Nothing like that." He tired to play off. "Oh? Are you saying that my little girl is not pretty enough for you?" she asked, teasing him. "What? No. She is. But haha, oh, I'm joking, Naruto." Paula laughed at the boy's expense. Naruto sulked. "You're an evil mother, Paula," he said. "What was that?" she asked with full righteous mother fury mode active. "I'm sorry, what was the question?" he asked dumbly. That's what I thought. She smirked at his relived face. You know, Naruto, that wasn't very manly of you. If you want to act like a man, you have to do better. Paula said. I'm manly enough, Paula. I'm so manly I make less manly men around me seem manly. Naruto boasted. Oh yeah? Care to prove it? She asked. Yeah, give me any test of manliness you can muster. I'll prove to you I am manly enough for anything. Naruto had a hero-like pose. Paula smirked. Then ask my daughter out to the fall dance this weekend. Naruto somehow tripped and fell to the floor. He got back up. Are you crazy? She'll break every bone in my body, drag me to school taking the scenic bumpy and sharp rocks route, beat me within an inch of my life, then say no while leaving me at the front door of the school so I can be late to class. He told the mom what her daughter would do to him if he asked her out. You two talking about me? Artemis came from her room. Ah! Naruto jumped behind Paula. Oh, Naruto. That is very unmanly to act like that in front of my daughter. Paula told the boy. Speak for yourself. I wish to live past today. Naruto, get your ass out from behind my mom and let's get to school. I don't want to be late. Artemis yelled at Naruto. Language, young lady. Her mom said. Sorry, Mom. Let's go, Naruto. She grabbed him and started dragging him away. Bye, Mrs. Croc. See you later, Naruto said. Bye, you two have a good day at school. She then smiled. Oh, and Artemis. Naruto wanted to ask you something, right, Naruto? She yelled back at them. What? Oh, sure. Son of a half troll. Jägermeister. Joker. Fox. Naruto cursed as he fell down the stairs. Nice landing, Naruto. It's always smart to land on your face. Now what is it that you wanted to ask me? Artemis asked. Paula could only laugh as she heard Naruto fall down the stairs. That boy, he's going to be perfect for my baby girl. Later that day, Mount Justice. Artemis was waiting at Mount Justice. It had only been a day since she stood up to Pain in public, and she was already regretting it. She knew she was going to get flack from Batman and the rest of Young Justice and the Justice League. They could all go to hell as far as she cares. However, it is what Pain said before she left. Don't think this will go unpunished, Artemis. She didn't fear Pain like the others did. She knew that he wouldn't kill her. She knew that with all her heart that he wouldn't kill her, no matter what she did. Unless she started killing innocents, then all bets are off. But why, oh why, did Naruto, her only normal friend, have to drop the bomb? What bomb was that, you ask? Well, Naruto grew the balls to ask Artemis to the fall dance. When he did, she broke every bone in his body, dragged him to school taking the scenic bumpy and sharp rocks route, beat him within an inch of his life, but said yes while leaving him at the front door of the school so he could be late to class. She had no idea why he asked her. She's not the girly type, nor did she know why she said yes. She just did. She called her mom, say that she was with her study group. She knew it was code so she could tell Naruto why she didn't walk to her home with him like he normally does. I so don't need this right now. She heard Supergirl and Gen enter the room. Speaking of home, back with Paula. Well, how'd it go? She had asked Naruto. He did look worse for wear. Well, the only thing I was wrong about was she said yes, he said to her, and she giggled at him. So not funny. Oh, man up, Naruto. Back at Mount Justice, Gan and Supergirl were bugging Artemis for answers. I mean, it's not every day that your mentor or family member gets his ass kicked, and then some girl sends to person who kicked their ass and retreat with just words. Really, how'd you do it? I mean, he beat over 20 Justice League members. We as a team can beat 2 or 3 of them, but that's it. He did it himself. Supergirl bugged Artemis. Yeah, my uncle didn't say a thing when I saw him last. Gan said she had baked cookies for the Justice League members that were hospitalized by pain. Look, I'd rather not repeat it, so I'm going to wait until, at least, Batman, Superman, Black Carney and the rest of our team get here. She told them. What makes you think that they'll all come? Gan asked. Well, for one, Batman wants to know how to beat Pain, Black Carney is our martial arts teacher. Superman had at least 3 to 4 broken ribs and a fracture or 2, and he wasn't hit by magic or kryptonite, and the rest of our team will need to know a little bit of Payne's powers if they want to at least get a chance to fight him and not get knocked out the first 2 seconds of the fight. Artemis told them. Is he that good? Supergirl asked. Based on what little Payne told me about himself. He was holding back, she said. That shocked both girls. He was holding back? How? The power he used was beyond anything that anyone could do. Gan, being more emotional than the rest of her race, was fearful of the knowledge that she just gained. He told me that if a ninja battle lasts longer than a few minutes, then one side or the other is holding back. The only time that holding back is not the case if it is a battle between, what he said, higher ninja evolutionaries. Artemis said. Artemis reached into her bag that they brought with her for this event. But first, I need a drink. Artemis brought out a bottle. What's that? Asked Supergirl. This, my dear sweet naive girl, is what we call alcohol. We drink this to get drunk and forget our troubles that currently plague us in life. You pick what you want them to drink. What are you intending to do with it, Artemis? I think that human law says that you can't drink that until you're 21. Gan said. The law also says that we can't take the law into our own hands, and yet we do, every Dame Gan. She took a big swig of it. Come on. Have some. She passed it to Supergirl. 3 hours later, still in Mount Justice, the rest of the team had just arrived, and then right behind them were Batman, Superman, the Manhunter, Black Canary, Green Arrow, and Huntress. Upon arrival, they noticed 2 things: uncontrollable giggling and the smell of alcohol. They reached the living room/kitchen, and the smell was stronger. Man, it smells like a beer factory in here! Robin yelled, holding his nose. That what I said when this one guy crapped his pants before Payne got him to knock himself out by banging his head on a wooden beam. The group heard Artemis say from the table. On said table were about 15 or so bottles of all sorts of alcohol, and the 3 girls drunk as can be. Holding a small bottle was Mgan, still drinking said bottle. Artemis was holding a large bottle the same size as Supergirl, as the pair were having a drinking game before the group got back. Now, if you don't mind, I intend to drink this Supergirl under the table, Artemis said, taking another swig, only for Black Canary to take it from her. Hey! She whined. Want some D's to go with that wine? Gan slurred out. No, it's not D's, it's sneeze medin. Supergirl then burped loudly, so loud that the birds outside made a break for it. Did the hell possess you to start drinking? Black Canary yelled at the young girls. What? Payne said I'm an honest drunk, and I'd rather not be sober when I tell the flying rat man about Payne. Artemis said, taking out another thing of gin, only for that to be taken away too. Hey, how are you not wasted as bad as those 2? Huntress asked, while getting a glare from Black Canary for her lack of scolding. Those 2 are lightweights. I can drink them under the table any day, Artemis said. Who said it was all right for you to drink like this? And how did you get so much? Black Canary said, noticing about a dozen empty bottles on the table. Payne's stash, by the way. He's going to be so pissed when he finds out. With Payne. Payne was noticing the emptiness of his stash. His lone eye was twitching. I think Archer Babe was here and took some, Ravager said. Some? X said. Half the damn thing is gone. Back at MJ, Artemis took another bottle, and only again for it to be taken away. Hey! These aren't mine, you know, Artemis told Black Canary. KF decided to take advantage of honest drunk Artemis to get some answers before Bats got to her. Hey Artemis, what do you think about me? Come on, be honest, he said. This should be good, Huntress said. Artemis took one look at him and said, I know you're an egotistical jerk that has a hard-on for any pretty girl in a skirt, namely Mgan, Kara, and myself. You have a hero complex worse than most, you compensate too much for your lack of skill, and based on what Payne said about you, odds are you're limp-dicked. KF turned white and broke light glass. Burn! Robin snickered. Drunkenness aside, tell me everything you know about Payne, Batman told Artemis. What do you want to know? Artemis asked. How to beat him. His powers. What his real name is, in order. You can't. Too many to list. Don't know. she said bluntly. What? He can't be that strong. Flash asked Artemis. You're lying, Batman said without missing a beat. He was playing with you. If that fight lasted longer than a few minutes, he was testing the waters, so to speak. He was holding back to see if you were a threat to him. He judged that you all are not a threat to him or his plans, Artemis said, taking another drink, only for BC to take it again. Damn it, stop that, she said. Language, young lady. Black Canary scolded. Yes, mother, Artemis said sarcastically. What are his plans? Batman asked, staying on topic. Kill everyone that can't be redeemed, and if Plan A fails, Plan B is to rule the world, or something like that, and lead it to peace. But that's all I know. No details, she said drunkenly. Why are you telling us this? What do you have to gain from betraying Pain? Wonder Woman asked the $1,000,000 question. For one, I can't lie to you, I'm drunk. She raised all 10 of her fingers. 22, she said. Maybe not that drunk, she commented. You count 22 fingers and you're not that drunk? Huntress asked while getting another glare from BC. I managed to count to 30 once before passing out. Artemis giggled at a drunken memory that was her own. Back on topic. Who is Pain? And I told you, Bats, I don't know. She told him again. You're lying. I am not. I don't know who he is because I've never seen him with his mask. I do know it's a he, though. She did another drunken giggle. Binded his ears, did ya? Supergirl said drunkenly. Although she meant grinded his gears. Something like that. Batman was annoyed. I can't read her mind, Batman, Manhunter said. Hey! Artemis saw all of her booze confiscated by BC. Stop that, she whined more. Give me a list of his powers. Batman told Artemis. All right, I've give you a list of the things he can't do. It'll be shorter, she said to them. She took out a piece of paper and wrote something on it and handed it to the Batman. Is this a joke? He asked her. What? Flash took the piece of paper and read it. What's this? He can't stop. Is that all? What's that supposed to mean? He asked. It means the only thing he can't do is stop what he is doing. No prison can hold him. No power can stop him. If, and I mean if, you want to stop him, you've got one way. Kill him. But that can't happen for 2 reasons. 1, being he can't die, and 2, being you won't kill anyone. She told them. That isn't funny, Flash said. Does it look like I'm joking? When I say he can't die, I mean it. I think that other day was the first time I've ever seen him get hit. You even managed to force him to up his level of power he was using on you. Take that as an insult or compliment. And if you don't mind, unless we got a mission, I'm going to follow these 2 lightweights over there, she said, pointing at the girls she had girl time with. And pass out. We do have a mission. But not for you 3. Go home. Works for me. She slammed her head down on the table and was passed out. Cheer up, Kid Flash. I'm sure she didn't mean it, Robin said, trying to repair the manhood of Kid Flash that had been utterly destroyed by honest drunk Artemis. You think so? He asked Robin, Huntress, who was passing by. Oh, she meant it. Every word. Ow? She rubbed her shoulder when Black Canary hit her. Later that day, Pain was waiting. Then he was called. Brother, Bane. Good to hear from you. How has your research going? Back on schedule, thanks to Mr. Freeze. Then the face of Mr. Freeze was on the monitor. Happy to help. Your research combined with the DNA Pain gave me has helped with my Nora. Glad to hear it, frozen brother. Bane said to him. This isn't a social call. I have a meeting soon and I need to tell you the next step of my plan. Pain told them. Go on, they both said, while Young Injustice team is at a good number of members for now. The older sibling Disciple must grow as well. As it stands, there is only 4 members of the Vengeance League and 1 is undercover, and I'm leading Young Injustice. I see what you mean, Mr. Freeze said in a thinking pose. As we are now, we stand no chance, aside from you, brother, in an all-out war with the Justice League. Bane said. I need a list of possible members for the Vengeance League. I have a few nominations, but I wish for you to send me a list whenever you can this week. Pain told them. Of course, brother. I'll have a list for interested parties sometime this week. Bane's face blacked out. As will I, however it won't be as long. Mr. Freeze's face blacked out. Pain got up and was covered in smoke when the lights came on. Mr. Namikaze smiled at the man that just walked in. General, glad you can make it. I have a few some things that you might like. Mr. Namikaze smiled. Saturday. It had been an agonizing week for both Naruto and Artemis. Why, you may ask? Because now it was the fall dance and Naruto was set to pick up Artemis any minute now. Oh, Artemis, stop fidgeting, Paula said to her youngest daughter, who was squirming around in her dress. I'll stop fidgeting when this night is over. We've been friends for about a year and he pulls this on me? I so didn't need this. Artemis still didn't know what she said yet to this. Oh, Artemis. Naruto's a nice boy. Better than any other boy you'd meet in this world. Paula smiled. That's the truth, Artemis said, thinking of Kid Flash. Besides, it takes a lot of guts to ask out my daughter to this dance. Especially after what he said you'd do to him. Paula giggled at her daughter's reaction. It was a reaction, Artemis defended. It was still brave of him to do. He asked you to this dance knowing what was going to happen to him. Paula laughed at her daughter's pouting face. The doorbell rang. That's him. I'll get him. You stay there and look stunning until I tell you two comes out, all right? Paula told Artemis. Oh, Mom. Artemis wasn't looking forward to this. Naruto was her friend for only a year, and she wasn't the girly type. She looked down at her dress. It was her mom's, and she hoped Naruto liked it. Even if she could afford one of her own with the money she got from Pain and all of their raids, she keeps it for her mother. She slips in a 20 here and there to help support the family. Unnoticed by her mom, of course. Artemis, dear. Naruto is here. Of course he's here, she said to herself. Well, time to disappoint, she said to herself. Naruto was all nicely dressed up and nervous. Why wouldn't he? He was talking his best friend out on a date, for lack of a better word, and he had no idea how to go on one. A normal one anyway. Most dates he had dealt with death and battles. Although, to be fair, those types of dates were romantic in his old world. I guess being as powerful as he is, he can still be nervous around a girl. When Artemis walked out of her room and into view, Naruto was speechless. Paula had to poke him a few times to get him to wake up out of his daze. Artemis was wearing a glittering black dress. It was modest yet alluring and beautiful at the same time. Wow, Naruto managed to say. Artemis blushed a bit. You don't look half bad yourself. Paula shook her head a little. Naruto walked her to the limo, saying his uncle had paid for it, and Paula wished them a good time. However, unknown to Naruto and Artemis, they were being watched. Paula wheeled herself to her room, happy that her daughter found someone like Naruto to be with. That boy will be good for Artemis. Might even tame her, a bit at least. Paula smiled. No one could fully tame her little girl. She opened her closet, grabbed something, and closed it again. In the mirror was a figure behind her. She threw her throwing knife at the intruder only for it to vanish. I see now where Artemis gets her fiery attitude, the figure said. Who are you? Paula demanded. Not that she could stop whoever this was from doing what he intended to do. I am Pain. Paula's eyes widened. This was the man that went toe-to-toe with the Justice League and won. Only for her daughter to talk down and make him leave. Her heart stopped when she saw her daughter do that. She had no idea what she was thinking. How do you know my daughter? Remembering his comment from before. She and I were partners for a time. Is that where she got all that money? She asked. Yes, he plainly answered. How? Raids on the underground. Do not worry, she has yet to take a life, if that's what you're worried about, he told her. Why are you here? She asked. She was talking to the most powerful person on the planet. When Artemis stood up to me, I told her that it would not go unpunished, and it will not. Pain used his power and lifted Paula out of her chair and onto her bed face down. Paula would have resisted, but she felt that she was being held down. What do you intend to do to me? She asked fearfully. She might not see her daughter again. Or her oldest that she hasn't seen since she went to jail. Pain put something in front of her face. He pressed a button and 9 long thin needles shot out. Will I feel any pain? She asked. Pain took a moment before he answered, lifting up her shirt. "This will only hurt a little," he said. Then he stabbed her right in the back, where she was shot long ago. She let out a pained grunt. "What comes next, more so?" When he injected the substance, she screamed even more. No one heard her. With Naruto and Artemis, Naruto was still nervous even when he got there. The trip there was all silence, even with Naruto trying to give Artemis compliments on her looks. When they got out of the limo, Artemis was the center of attention. Her black dress captivated nearly every guy there, also them getting a backhand from their girlfriends. "Well, Artemis, I see that you're an eye-catcher." He laughed awkwardly. "Latest line so far, Naruto," she said to him. "Ouch. How my heart has been stabbed by the ever-beautiful goddess of the hunt, Artemis." Naruto held his heart in mock pain. "Oh, I'll stab you all right if you keep that up." "Yes, ma'am," Naruto said, mocking seriousness. Artemis sighed. Why did she say yes again? "But I got you something." That got Artemis' attention. "Why, you did?" she asked. She wasn't expecting that. "Yeah." He pulled out a box and handed it to her. "What is it?" she asked. "Open it and be amazed." He smiled. He laughed a little when Artemis rolled her eyes at his lame line. Artemis opened the box. "Wow," she said as she stared at the gift. It was a green jade-colored necklace. "It looks wow." She was awed by its beauty. "It doesn't look as wow as you do, Artemis." Artemis blushed a little on the inside. "Here, let me put it on you." He put it around her neck, and she looked at it in the mirror. "Thanks, Naruto. It's really thoughtful of you. It's really beautiful. I know you. I mean, it is. I'm such a sensitive guy." Naruto gave off his little goofy grin. "Don't blow it now, Naruto." "Sorry." Naruto got Artemis some punch for her so she didn't get ogled by the guys there. Although when he got back, the local school bully was hitting on Artemis. That didn't last long. He got a sudden case of blue ball syndrome. A little later, Naruto and Artemis were on the dance floor waiting for the principal to start the fall homecoming dance. They didn't need to wait long. The principal gave a short speech and the dance was underway. It started off slow with the school band. So everyone was slowly dancing to the tune. It picked up a bit after the fourth dance, but it was the eighth dance where it got wild. Played Pitbull Timberfoot Kesha, and don't expect this part to be any good. "Alright, young people, the school band have practiced this for weeks now and are ready to give you a good time. Now they're going to play for you Timber by Pitbull and Kesha. Here we go." "I like this song," Naruto commented. "You would. Ouch. I'm hurt," Naruto joked as he took her to the dance floor once more. The pair started dancing to the beat of the music, which was fairly fast. They started dancing around each other. Naruto had Artemis spin a few times and match with the beat. They didn't stop or slow down when everyone else did. Soon they became the center of attention, even if they didn't know it. When the band speed up their beats, so did Naruto and Artemis. This went on until the song ended, although it felt like mere moments for Artemis and Naruto and Pitbull Timberfoot Kesha. It was now the last song of the night. Artemis and Naruto then started to dance slowly, as did everyone else. However, they were not alone. A good friend of theirs decided to give them a private show. Using his violin, he started to play a slow romantic tune for them, in sync with the rest of the band. Naruto and Artemis tried their best to ignore him, not deterring him much. When the friend was behind Artemis, Naruto was flipping him off. Didn't do a thing except put a smile on his face. When he went behind Naruto, Artemis was giving him the bird, so he lay off the couple. The night was over, and Naruto walked Artemis to the limo, then later to her home. "I had fun, Artemis." "Yeah, me too, Naruto. Despite that ass Grant trying to help Dot." She smiled. "Yeah, I'll be sure to leave enough of his ass for you to kick when I'm through with him." "You're so thoughtful." Artemis smiled at him. Naruto walked her to her door. "Good night, Naruto." "What? No kiss?" he asked mockingly. "Sorry, handsome. Never on the first date." She gave off a grin as she slowly closed the door behind her. "Ouch," he said as he walked back to the limo. Inside the home, Artemis went straight to her room, almost glided there. It seemed that she had such a wonderful time. She got to her room and went to her closest. She placed her jacket in the closet and closed the door. She then turned around quickly and aimed her mini crossbow at a shadow in the corner. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "What? Can't a father see his baby girl on her special night?" The shadow soon tuned into Sportsmaster. "You're no father!" Artemis sneered. Sportsmaster ignored her comment in favor for looking out her window. "Nice kid you've found there. It would be a shame if he had an accident." Artemis could see his smirk. "You stay away from Naruto," Artemis warned him. "So Naruto is it?" "Why should I?" he asked. "He's innocent. He has nothing to do with heroes and villains." She told him. "No one's innocent in this world, baby girl. Not you, not me, not Naruto." Sportsmaster moved his head when Artemis fired an arrow at his eye. "If I didn't know any better, I'd swear you were trying to kill me just now." He smirked. "That wasn't a warning shot," she warned him. "Oh? Is that love I see for that boy? What was the first thing I ever thought you?" he asked her. "I don't give a shit. You stay away from Naruto. If one hair on his head is missing, if I see a scratch on him, if so much as a car cut him off on his way home, I will come after you and end you," she said once more. "Oh? End me, will you? What would your new team think of that?" "I don't care what they think of me if I kill you," Sportsmaster smiled. "Leave, Lawrence." Both Artemis and Sportsmaster looked at the door, to see Paula leaning on the door frame, but standing. "Paula/Mom? Artemis, go to the living room while I talk to your father." "But, now!" Paula left no room for argument, so Artemis left. "I'd never thought. Why color me speechless?" Lawrence said to Paula. "You're standing once more. Leave Naruto alone, Lawrence. He's good for Artemis. She has a chance for a normal life with him. I don't want you to ruin that. Normal life? Who would want a normal life? You get a taste of this life, this true freedom. You never want a normal life again. I had a taste of that freedom, Lawrence. It cost me time in jail and away from them girls, one I never got to see grow up into the woman she is now, and the other left not a week after it happened. I've been in a wheelchair for years and only now able to stand. Normal life sounds like a better one now. Hump, I'm warning you, dear. Leave Naruto alone," Sportsmaster smiled. "I see now why Artemis fell for him, and why you protect him. He reminds you of me when I was that age, doesn't he?" He smirked. "You were once like that, but you have abused your skills, like me. However, he would never do that. Are you sure? I was once like him. What makes you so sure that he won't become like me? How do you know that he isn't already like me? He's nothing like you," she shouted at him. "So you say." He walked past her. He made his way to the front door, walking past Artemis, as she was giving him a death glare, and as the old saying goes, if looks could kill. "See you soon, baby girl," he said as he left his wife and youngest daughter. Paula collapsed on the sofa next to Artemis. "Mom, how can you be walking?" she asked calmly. "Your old partner paid me a visit as soon as you left on your date with Naruto." "It wasn't a date," Artemis fired back. Is my little girl shy about liking a boy?" she asked teasingly. Back to the topic at hand. "Pain paid you a visit?" She tried to steer the conversation. "Yes, he injected me with something, then helped me to walk again." "How?" "I was only gone for 3 hours." "How could he have done that?" Paula took a breath. I looked into his eyes and then I felt myself in a new world. The sky was red and the clouds black. He said in that world he is God and controls everything. In that world, he helped me rehabilitate. It took months in that world, yet a mere second has passed here. I still find it hard to believe myself. But enough about that. I have only one question for you. Paula smirked at her daughter's expression. "What is it?" Artemis asked. "When's the wedding, Mom?" Next day, Mount Justice. Artemis was still trying to get over the fact that she had a good time with Naruto, and her father showing up and nearly threatening Naruto. She hoped that she was strong enough to protect him from her father. "What? Why do I care? He's just a friend." "Right, just a friend. I believe the Earth saying is you better convince yourself that before she tell that to others." Artemis looked to her left to see Mgan and Kara aka Supergirl. Say what now? Artemis asked. Whoever this Naruto is, must be important to you. Kara responded. What? You've been reading my mind? Artemis asked accusingly to Mgan. No. You've been saying a lot of things out loud, Artemis. No need to be a mind reader for that. Mgan smiled. Soon the rest of the team came into the room. What do you want? Artemis asked the boys of the group. Why didn't you answer Batman's questions? Are you still loyal to Pain? Even after everything he's done? Robin asked the archer. Of course I am. Yet I'm here, aren't I? The only thing you really told Batman was that he can't stop. Why does that really mean? Aqualad asked. Just as it sounds. The only thing that will make him stop is killing him. His own words. You can fight him, you can talk to him, and you can put him in jail. That last one is just laughable, but he will never stop fighting for what he believes in. Artemis answered Aqualad's question. What other abilities does he have? Why asked her? The group turned around at the new voice in the room. It was Pain. When you can get the answers straight from the mouth of Pain. Pain answered. Young Justice got in their battle stances. You don't think that any of you has a chance against me, do you? Just look at what I did to your mentors. I beat them all with little to no effort on my part. Don't listen. If he stopped dodging their attacks, that means he took them seriously. Artemis said as she was seeing the others falter. Pain tilted his head. Using what you know of me to help these heroes in training now, Artemis? Pain asked. Let us see how much you've learned while training under me then. Pain fired a large fireball at them, destroying their little living room. When the smoke cleared, they were nowhere to be found. He did, however, see an open vent. Smart thinking, he commented. With YJ, they all were crawling through the vent. That was close, Supergirl said. Again, establish a link so we do not get found out by Pain. Aqualad said. Right. Link established. All right, Artemis, we need to know why Pain is attacking us here and now, and we need to know a way to defeat him. Aqualad asked Artemis. You're joking, right? No, he isn't. We need to beat your boyfriend if we are to have any chance contacting the League. Robin told her. You think we have a shot at beating Pain? He nearly took out almost 30 members of the Justice League, most without even a fight. What hope do we have? Don't despair, Artemis. They all heard Pain over the intercom. Your thoughts betray you. Concentrate. Can he read our thoughts even with Mgan's mental link? Supergirl asked. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know anything that Pain can't do. Artemis said. We need a plan if we are going to beat him. Any information that you can tell us about Pain would help, Artemis. Mgan said to Artemis. It's what I know that frightens me. I mean, I've never seen Pain go all out before. He said that if he ever did, it would destroy continents, and that was if he could focus enough. She told the group. You're joking, right? Dead serious. You never seen true fear until you faced Pain set out to kill you. I wonder whose room this is. Both occupants of the mountain paled. He going in our rooms now. That's a new low for villains everywhere. Supergirl yelled in her head. Some advice, don't say that to him. He hates it when people call him a villain. Artemis said to her. And don't read too much into it. He's trying to get us riled up. To make us lose our cool. G-string panties. Never thought a heroine would wear something like this. One could almost hear the bloody nose come from Kid Flash. Keep focus. He's trying to draw us out by pissing us off. It's worked for him before. Artemis warned. She had a feeling that it was Supergirl's panties he was talking about. Oh look! The piece of pizza, that bastard! I was saving that! Kid Flash yelled. Wanting nothing more than to kick Pain's ass right now. Now is not the time for this. Cute girl. Nice aqua-colored hair. You want to beat his ass too now, huh? Robin smirked. We need a plan. Artemis, tell us what you can about his powers. We'll form a plan from there. Aqualad said. With Pain, he was wondering what the group was up to. He hadn't felt their emotions or feelings for some time now. Come now, Artemis? Did you all go coward and leave? No. I trained you better than that. So I wonder. How much longer? He asked. Almost done. Need at least 15 more minutes, Pain nodded. Pain! Pain looked to where the voice yelled at him. It was Artemis, no surprise. He'd figured that the team would send her. Using whatever feeling of loyalty he has for her. Why are you here? Why are you attacking us? She asked him. If you must ask why, then I have not trained you well enough, it seems. I have deemed young Justice too much of a threat to let grow any further. What? Artemis didn't think he would. I thought you said that you would never kill a hero until war stated that you know will start someday. I did, yet these little sidekicks are no heroes. They are shadows. So I am not breaking my own word here. You're serious? She felt cold. I am. Last chance, Artemis, come back to now. Leave this martyr of a life behind. And what of helping my mother last night? What was that for? She asked Pain. Seeing her mother walk again was nothing short of a miracle, one she was happy to witness, and it was thanks to Pain. That was for all the times you stood by me while I killed the scum of this world. Nothing more. I don't believe you. Believe what you will. Last chance, Artemis. Join me and fight to fix injustice that these Justice Leaguers won't fix, or join the long list of people I have killed. Pain told her. No, no hesitation? If you want to kill anyone on this team, you'll have to kill me first. She aimed her bow and fired. The arrow went right through his head. Very well. Fire style. Great fire annihilation. A massive torrent of fire was launched at Artemis. The hall was melted, but no Artemis was seen. It seemed she was saved by someone. With the team, Artemis was saved by Supergirl, although what Pain had said it seemed that he was serious. But I don't get it. He wouldn't. It seems you don't know Pain as well as you think, Aqualad said to her, or he's just showing his true colors. Like any other murderer, Robin said with a sneer. He's not a murderer, Artemis yelled, surprised at herself for still standing up for Pain. However, knowing what he intends to do with us, you still stand with us. That's brave of you. I thank you for that, Supergirl said to Artemis. Yeah, you could have sold us down the river, but you decided to stick with us like a true hero, Kid Flash said. Hey, he gets some good lines sometimes. Yeah, thank you very much, Artemis. Gan hovered around Artemis. I still don't get it. Why? Why would he do this? It's not like him. Artemis wondered. Maybe you didn't really know him. Now is not the time for this. What we need is a plan of attack, Aqualad told the team. Attack? You're joking, right? This guy took on the Justice League and won. Not even so much as getting a good hit being landed on him, Kid Flash said. We need to get out of here. That won't work. Pain would have had this place sealed off. No one in and no one out. That includes Zeta Tubes, Artemis said to them. How do you know that? Gan asked. I don't know how. I just know. He's done it before. It's a barrier of some sort, Artemis answered. So flight is out, we can only fight. Sounds good to me. Supergirl smirked. Artemis, tell us the powers that you feel that Pain will use, Aqualad asked Artemis. With Pain. Pain was looking around. He had his fun with the girls' rooms. He knew whose was whose. He even kept a few trophies, in the form of a few G-strings. He did a slightly perverted giggle. However, back on track, Pain wondered what the group was up to. He had hoped that Artemis would come back to him with the threat of death, however she didn't. He raised his right hand, and stopped a wall of water coming at him. Using the elements against me? What has Artemis told you about me? He asked. He sent the water back to whence it came, and saw no one on the receiving end. He then grabbed 3 discs coming from behind him. Then allowed 3 arrows go right through him. You know about my powers, Artemis? Why do you allow them to waste their time? He asked out loud. Pain! Artemis started running at Pain. Pain raised an eyebrow. Artemis wasn't one for a frontal attack. Pain brought out a pair of churka rods to block her bow blades. Pain's eyes widened, deflected her hands and grabbed her neck. Who are you? You're not Artemis. Gan let go of her transformation. Got ya. Pain's eyes widened, then he ducked as a fist come from behind him. Gan's knee was coming up at the same time. He had to use Kamui to avoid her knee making friends with his face. He appeared in the main hall only to grab 3 arrows aimed at his head. I told you before, Artemis. I can grab them faster than you can fire them, he yelled. He then blocked Kid Flash's speed attacks. With ease, really, he allowed 3 discs to pass by him, and raised his hand once more to block a torrent of water come from Aqualad. Why continue this fruitless resistance? All the resistance in the world won't change the fact that you have no future, Pain told them. Pain hoped back when Aqualad landed behind him, trying to cut him in half. He then grabbed both Supergirl's and Gan's fists that were aimed for his head and allowed 3 arrows to pass right through his head and embed themselves in the wall right behind him. Have I taught you nothing, Artemis? I taught you to be better than this. Your training with this cretins have dulled your ability to fight, Pain told her while holding on to Gan and Supergirl. Artemis smiled. You did teach me many things, Pain. I don't doubt that, either should you. But the one thing that you taught me that I hold closer than most is to be unpredictable. She smirked. Pain's eyes widened. For 2 reasons. 1, the 2 people he had grabbed were not Gan and Supergirl, but Aqualad and Kid Flash. 2, he heard a beeping sound that sounded a lot like one of Artemis' bomb arrows. Or 3. He looked back and had only a second to realize that what they were. He had been forced to let go of the 2 boys, and use Kamui to avoid being a smear on the ground. Boom! Arg! He felt the first second or so of the blast but stopped most of it from hitting him. He looked up when he felt 2 powerful energies in front of him. His lone Sharingan. I saw both the real Supergirl and Gan both had their fists cocked back ready to dish out pain. No pun intended. Eat fist, bitch! Supergirl yelled. Pain tried to grab their fists but missed. Both fists connected with his mask, and it cracked. They put more power behind their attack and sent Pain flying back to the water on the other side of the room. I can't believe that worked! Robin was shocked. Their mentors took a full hour just to hit him once, and it wasn't that powerful. In a time less than that they managed to send him flying, and Artemis' plan did work. They never thought, well done! They heard Pain's voice. However, they also noticed a large piece of his mask on the floor just ahead of them. I was right about you all, he said once more as the mist cleared. Pain was covering the exposed part of his lower left side of his face. For all of you able to land one good punch on me, using what Artemis knows about me. However, what he didn't cover was his left eye, a blue left eye. Artemis' eyes widened. We will meet again, and Artemis, your punishment has been delivered. You've passed my test. Yet, I still come out on top. He looked at his wrist and saw it blinking. He pressed it and Red X came to life. Report. Mission complete. Everything on the Bat computer is now ours. Red X said. Perfect. Get out of there and meet up later. Pain looked up. My plan is done. Everything that Batman had on you heroes and heroines and even the villains is now mine. Pain said. What? Currently, almost every hero that is not on duty to something else are now on their way here to respond to the distress call that you sent out. Pain told them. What? We didn't send any distress call, of course not. I did under the impression that Aqualad sent it. Aqualad told them that I was here and that you are all under attack. So they'll be here in a few minutes. He smiled at their reactions. So, I now have all the names of heroes, their real names, powers, locations, weaknesses, and how to beat them, or how to kill them. Dickie, thank Batman for me, will you? Thanks to his paranoia, I now have the means to terminate every hero and villain in this world. He once again vanished in a vortex. Fuck! Robin yelled. He played us, and played us well. We would have never have thought he would pull something like this. Aqualad said. How does he even know where the Batcave is? Hell, almost no one knows where that place is. KF yelled. Artemis, does he know where the Batcave is? It might have been a bluff. Robin asked. If he meets you once, he can find you no matter where you are. He can feel life signatures. He should know almost all of the Justice League's life signatures by now because he fought them. Batman would have been no different. He knows mine, all of yours. Everyone he has ever fought before he knows. Artemis told them once again. Then it was no bluff. We need to tell the Justice League about this. Supergirl told Robin. I need to go. Artemis said, making her way to the Zeta tube. What about the report? Robin asked. Our fearless leader can handle that. I need to get going. Artemis ran to the Zeta tube. Oh, there was going to be hell to pay with Batman. Later anyway. Monday. It was the Monday, 6th period, after the dance and a day later from the attack on the cave, if one could call it that. Payne just came to the cave, tested the waters and left. Also taking everything Batman had on every hero and villain's past and present. She wondered his true intention, but what about Batman? What will he do to her to find out about Payne? Their little fight at the cave showed that young Justice has what it takes to at least stand up to Payne. Even if he didn't take the fight seriously. Hey Artemis. Artemis looked up to see Naruto. Hey Naruto. How are you? She asked, although without any feeling to it. Ouch. Did I hurt you in some way? Did you not have a good night the other night? Naruto asked. No. No. It's not that. I had a great time, she said to him. She then blushed when she said that. Naruto smirked. I knew you were soft on me. He smirked. Ow. He rubbed his shoulder when he was punched by Artemis. All right, class. I had something for you all to do today, but I misplaced it. So we're going to watch a documentary on TV for this class period. The teacher of the class informed them. Hey, a free Monday. The teacher turned on the TV, and about half an hour into the film the TV went blank. However, it wasn't just theirs, it was everyone's around the world. There was some screeching and a horrid sound coming from the TV, and only one thing could be seen and heard on it. The word Jinchuriki in all languages. My name is Obito Uchiha. I come from a world far different from yours. When I first came here, I was following a monster. He brought famine, wrath, and war to my world. He has killed hundreds of thousands of people, all in the quest for ultimate power. In our Fourth World War, he killed over 70,000 people in 2 days, while the world was watching. Artemis noticed that Naruto looked pissed. For the last year of your time, he has hidden in plain sight, masquerading as a hero. He may walk like you, talk like you, but he's not one of you. His so-called hero name is Payne. He also goes by another name, the name of my grandfather, the man he killed for more power, Madara Uchiha. He may look young, act innocent, but he is a monster. Artemis was shocked. Payne was a mass murderer? He has always killed for more power, no matter the motives he tells others. He's a master manipulator. He's even killed his own family. His mother, his father, everyone that was close to him died because of him. That shocked Artemis even more. He killed his own parents? However, that was nothing compared to the shock she was going to receive right now. However, his cover name, the name he has the gall to use, is Naruto Uzumaki. Everyone looked at Naruto. Artemis looked at Naruto as well, however, while all the rest were looking at him with distrust and disdain. Artemis' look was more along the lines of betrayal. For any that you think you are his friend, he has killed many that way. He cannot be trusted. If anyone knows where Naruto is, you must stop him before his plans of world domination are completed. To Naruto I say this. I will stop you, and avenge my family and friends you've killed. I'm coming for you, little brother. The TV shut off. Naruto was beyond furious at Obito right now. He played the I'm the hero, you're the villain card. No doubt everyone in the world is against me right now. Well played, Obito. He even went so far as to say I killed my family, and on top of that he played the little brother as a manic, power-hungry, merciless monster card. Nice. I bet Grandpa is proud of you, big brother. I'll get you for that. Naruto looked at Artemis once more. I guess this puts a strain on our current relationship, huh? Was all he said before he vanished in a vortex. Watchtower. What's going on? Flash asked. Just about the whole league had just watched what everyone else just watched. We're leaving, Batman said. Already had a plan going. Naruto was in front of his monitor once more. It had been little more than a day since Obito blabbed about everything on TV. You look no worse for wear after YJ kicked your butt. Red X said to Naruto. Hardly. The water clone I sent to the cave was barely 1/10th of my overall power. I allowed them to think that they broke my mask. When it turns to water in front of Batman's eyes, it will just add more questions onto what I'm capable of. Allow one question to be answered by making a dozen more. I saw everything from my shadow clone that was present at the time. Naruto told them, so at 1/10th of your power they can beat you. Frightening thought. Ravenger said, although I'm surprised that you're here? Naruto asked. Why wouldn't we be? Raven floated near him. We don't believe what this Obito told the world. For all we know, he just switched what you've done with what he's done, and vice versa. Raven finished. You couldn't be more correct. Naruto told the half-demon. Just then the main door opened, and in came none other than Artemis, in full uniform and very pissed off. Naruto turned to face her as she forced her way past the rest of Young Injustice, and delivered the biggest slap to Naruto's face. Not sure I deserve that, he asked her. She slapped him again. I might have deserved that. The rest of you leave. She ordered the rest of Young Injustice. I'll be in my room. Raven floated away. I'll be in the garden, Ivy said as she walked away. I've got a date with something shiny. Red X left the base. I'm going shopping. Naruto, I'm borrowing your credit card, she said as she too left the base. Wait, what? Naruto checked his pockets, seeing that his wallet was missing. Damn it, Rose! He yelled. He looked at Artemis. Naruto! Tell me right now! Tell me that everything that Obito said was a lie. Tell me that everything you've done to date has been for the greater good and not for your own gain. Tell me that everything you've done and said to me was real. Tell me that last Saturday was real and not fake. Would you believe me? No matter what I said? He asked. Yes, she answered without hesitation. Everything he said is a lie. I never waited this power. It was forced upon me by my grandfather Madara Uchiha. He then used that to say that I killed my grandfather for more power. Did you? No. He died by time. A rare death in my world. So rare. I think he was the third person to die by time in that world, he said to Artemis. Are you relieved? He asked her. Damn right I'm relieved. I stood up for you when the Justice League interrogated me about you. I wanted to know that I was doing the right thing. She told Naruto, do not worry too much about what Obito said. He just wanted to paint me as the villain. It would have worked for the most part, however I don't care what most people think of me. If I did, I would be wearing tight spandex. He told Artemis, don't forget about the underwear being worn on the outside. That's JLA uniform rule number 2. She joked. What's rule number 1? He asked mockingly. Always have a younger sidekick. She smiled. Feel any better, Artemis? He asked. I do. I didn't think what Obito said about you was true, I just had to be sure. She told him. But what are you going to do? She asked. Simple. Do what he did, go on TV and clear my name. It won't happen that moment, but it will place doubts on what he has said. My actions will speak for me. Naruto told her. She looked at him. And how are you going to pull that off? She asked him. Simple. I need to make a call. He told her. Artemis raised an eyebrow. Really? A call? Who? She asked. Naruto typed the number. Gotham Now. Vicky was doing research into Pain, or rather Naruto's, movements and patterns the last year. Like everyone else was in her job, even the Daily Planet. Many wondered if what Obito said was true, many just swallowed that crap and accepted it. Others had doubts. She was in the second category. However, every good lie has some hint of truth. Meaning that at least some of the things that he was saying were true. The only question there is what is true. Although Gotham Now did some polls to see what the public's view on the matter was. Apparently 37% still believed in Pain/Naruto. Less than a 10% loss for him. Not bad considering that he was basically charged with mass genocide. Her cell went off. Hello, is this Vicky Vale? The other person asked. It is. Who is this? She asked. Take a guess. It took a second for her to guess. Naruto? Pain? Whatever your name is. Is that you? she asked. Got it in one. Nice going. Why are you calling? You have any idea how many people want to talk to you? She asked. Are you one of them? I'm called to see if that interview request is still good. He asked her. Now? She asked. In about an hour. Announce it in about 20 minutes, no sooner please, and I'll be in your station at about 12. Sound good? He asked. Yeah. 12 p.m. it is. I'll see you then. She clicked her cell. Yes, she yelled, and went to work getting ready. Time skip 11:55 a.m. When Vicky made the announcement that Pain, or Naruto, will be interviewed on Gotham Now, their ratings shot up. Everyone was now turned into Gotham Now, and there was a small countdown to the interview. Ms. Vale hoped that Naruto didn't pull a fast one on her, and she'd look the fool in front of millions. Aside from that, she was concerned that the Justice League might try something during the interview. She hoped not. She was now having her makeup put on as it was almost time to start the show. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He pointed at Vicky. This is Vicky Vale with Gotham Now. In a few short minutes, Pain, also known as Naruto Uzumaki, will come on stage to speak about the accusations made by Obito Uchiha. But before he comes on stage, let's take some calls. You're on air with Vicky Vale with Gotham Now. Who is this? I'm Tomes, I live in Gotham, and my question is, how can you believe this Naruto? He kills for a living, he's no hero, and he even put Gotham in an early winter that took a month to get over it. He even dropped a pair of asteroids on Superman's head. I mean, no one sane does that. Yes, Tomes, I am aware of that. However, that is a question for Naruto to answer, not me. However, as to why I believe him. He saved my life and asked nothing in return. He never claimed to be a hero like Batman or Superman. Yet he saved my life, and who knows how many others he has saved. Next caller. You're on air with Vicky Vale on Gotham Now. Who is this? My name is Nick. I live on the south side of Gotham, and I don't really have a question, but I just want to say that what Naruto is doing is right. I lost my wife to that madman Joker. So I look forward to the day when Naruto takes him out. I'll even have a barbecue in his honor. He can even come if he wants. And as for everyone that bought that bow that this Obito guy spoon-fed everyone. How could you people believe that? Naruto's actions speaks for him. This Obito guy just said that he was a monster, and most people believed it. I can't see this kid being a monster. That's all I really have to say, Vicky. The second called said. Well, thank you for your comment, Nick, and I'm sure Naruto thanks you for that. No problem. Bye. He hung up. However, Nick did bring up a good question. We know nothing about Obito, and we at least know a few things about Naruto. So who can we believe more? Obito or Naruto? Next caller. But now it's about time for Naruto to come on stage. Stay tuned. It went to break. Vicky was scared that Naruto wouldn't keep his end of the deal. Her fears was soon destroyed. Ms. Vale, Naruto said. He was in full attire, but his mask was in his hand. Naruto, thank you for coming. Now, we'll start in a few minutes, so in the meantime I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'll ask you questions. Answer as truthfully as you can. Tell as much or as little as you wish, but the more truthful you are, the better. Then after a bit, people from around the US will call. We'll take a few of them, and they'll have their own questions for you to answer. All right. Naruto nodded. Also, much to his annoyance, the film crew had to put makeup on him so he could be more photogenic. Man, that was hell. And we're back. This is Vicky Vale with Gotham Now. And now with me here today is none other than Naruto Uzumaki, or as many of you know him as Pain. Naruto, thank you for coming. Vicky said to him. Thank you for having me and giving me the benefit of the doubt. He told her. Let's get right into it. One of Obito's claims is that it was you that made Gotham's world tree and dropped a pair of asteroids on top of Superman's head. Is that true? Yes, that surprised everyone watching and Vicky. May I ask why you did such a thing? It took months to melt the ice and snow. If I wished it so, the ice and snow would never melt. It is a simple ability of mine. However, on point, I did it as a test. He told her and the viewers. No doubt thought that the Justice League were on their way. A test? Yes, a test. When I first came to this world, I felt its sadness, its sorrow, its hate, its rage, and every emotion in between. I felt how this world was and the reason for it. These so-called heroes and their war on these so-called supervillains is the case for the pain this world feels. I am him to fix that. As for the test, I tested the resolve that these heroes had. When faced with an enemy that outclassed them in every way, I wanted to see what they would do. You outclassed them? Is it not obvious? Did they pass this test of yours? Yes and no. They did not falter when they faced me. Not even the second time. However, they had no killer instinct. No will to win at any cost. So they fail in that respect. He told her. Allow us to move on to the next question. Obito said that you killed over 70,000 people in your world's Fourth World War. Is this true? She asked him. No. Yes, I did fight in the Fourth War, but I was at the front lines protecting my people from his army. And no, his army was not alive, in case you were wondering. His army were mindless clones of organic mass. Nothing more. He told her. So what he said about you killing your own family for power was false, correct? My family did die, but not at my hands. It was Obito that killed my father and my mother for power. They gave their lives to protect mine, and it is because of them that I lived to become what I am. However, it also set into motion the fate of this world. He told Vale. The fate of this world? She asked, confused. Your world's fate is now intertwined with the fated battle that I and Obito shall have. Should I win, your world will be spared. Should he win, this world will die, and soon the rest of this universe shall go with it. Naruto ominously tells Vicky Vale. What? What do you mean? She asks. We shall fight, and soon. However, the fight shall be the last fight of the Fourth War. It shall be the Fourth Great War's conclusion, and the fate of this world and this universe shall be decided. Does it end with the fight or merely continue with its ending? What I mean is, should I lose, he'll have the power to summon a being that is ultimate power, giving form and conciseness, as well as boundless hate for all things. He took a breath. Nothing can harm it, save for myself. Nothing can stop it, save for myself. This world and all others have nothing that can stop this being. It is, in my world, a primordial god. Even we, a race of what you would call metahumans, would have no chance to stop this being even at our best. He told her. Vicky didn't know whether to believe him or not. She hoped he was lying, however years of being a reporter told her otherwise. Then, how can you stop it? If it is awakened, I will most likely be dead. For it is only my death can this being be released. He told her and all of the viewers. He could feel the fear growing in all people around him. And that is why Obito played the hero card. He wishes for this world's so-called heroes to fight and tire me out. Then he finishes me off and this world will be doomed. The Justice League are not helpless, Naruto. Surely they could stop it. Vicky Vale defended the JLA. Yes, they are not helpless. However, can they destroy the world with a thought? Can they stop the sun from rising or the earth from splitting? Or even time from continuing? This creature could, or at least that last one, as its sole purpose in life is to end all things. He looked at her. At best, this being will notice them and do what a human would do. Swat away the fly that buzzes nearby. Even Superman, this Earth's greatest protector, would be no match for this thing's might. It is how it is, Ms. Vale. I alone can stop this creature. I alone can save this world from Obito. No other point needs to be made. Vicky kept her fear in check. Do not fear, Ms. Vale. It takes a lot to kill me. I've faced people like Obito before, and I've beaten them. I will win this fight that we shall have. Have no fear in my defeat, but have faith in my victory, he said with a smile, putting her at ease. One last question from me and then we'll take a break and take some calls. This fight that you and Obito will have, when and where will it be? She asked him. He has made the first move, calling me out in such a fashion. He wishes for me to set the time and date. It shall be next week, on top of Gotham's World Tree. And all of Gotham's civilians to leave in that time. Why is that? Battles in my world at even half of this caliber would reshape the landscape. mountains turn to dust, forests to deserts, oceans to wastelands, and so on and so forth. The battle that we shall have will be worse. With any luck, the land will still be stable enough and safe enough to sustain life when the battle is over. Care to give some details on what you are expecting? She knew that the break needed to happen soon, but she wanted this line of questioning done now. I'll make it simple. Should anyone be in Gotham when the battle starts, they will die, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If they are gone, the best they can hope for is a chance to come back, in their lifetime. Vicky Vale nodded. We'll come back after the break. The crew gave the signal that they were off air. Do you have to be such a downer? She asked him. The truth is both dangerous and harmful. As saddening as it is. Should anyone be in Gotham, they will die. I cannot stress that enough. Not even a cloned army of Superman could survive the battle that Obito and I will have. Well, the break will last about a minute or so. If you need a drink, now is the time, she told him. He nodded, and pulled out a water bottle out of nowhere. No one questioned it, as something like that is trivial. It wasn't long before they were back on air. Now let us take some calls. You're on air with Gotham now. Who is this? I'm Rebecca from Star City. Yeah, I got a question for you, Naruto. Who are you to be judge, jury, and executioner? The Justice League doesn't do that, and they've been doing just fine. No, they are not. Because they do not put down these creatures, they are allowed to kill innocents every day. At first, every criminal feared the Justice League. Then when the no-kill police came to light, there is no reason to fear them, and why would they fear the Justice League? With no fear of death, they can do whatever they want and live to kill another day. As for who am I can feel when people are suffering, be it physical pain or not. So when someone dies, I feel it. When someone suffers, I feel it, and when a villain kills, I feel it. So I could not turn a blind eye to the suffering of others, unlike the Justice League. So it is the people, all of you, whether you believe in what I do or not. It is you, the people, that gives me all the reason to do what I do. Ahem, thank you, Rebecca, for your question. Next caller. You're on air with Vicky Vale, Naruto, and Gotham now. Who is this? Yeah, I'm Linda from Metropolis. My question is, why is it that you think you can choose who lives and who dies? How can you kill people and not blink about it? The Justice League doesn't. Why should you? Linda, was it? Good question. Naruto, your facts are incorrect, Linda. The Justice League does choose who lives and who dies. Indecision is a decision. When Batman chose not to kill a rabid animal like the Joker, he has chosen that Joker shall live. Also, he has chosen that everyone in Gotham might die and a few will die. So he is choosing that the people of Gotham shall die. The same thing goes for every other hero, villains, and the people in these cities. You may not see it like that, but it is that. As for how do I not blink, or show any type of emotion, is simple. I am not killing people. I am putting down creatures, monsters that deserve to die. Plain and simple. He answered Linda. Thank you, Linda, for your time and question. Next caller. You're on air with Vicky Vale, Naruto, and Gotham now. Who is this? I'm Tony. I don't have a question. But I just want to say what you're doing is right, Naruto. Don't let anyone tell you different. You're showing a spine unlike the other so-called heroes in this world. Keep it up, man. Thank you, Tony, Naruto said to the caller. Thank you, Tony. Next caller. You're on air with Vicky Vale, Naruto, and Gotham now. Who is this? My name is Radik. I live in Gotham, and my question is this. Where do I sign up? He asked. Sign up? Naruto asked. Yeah. Are you recruiting people to help fight with you? As strong as you are, you can't do this alone. I'm ex-military, and I lost my wife to that psycho clown Joker. I would love to see Ms. Vale record that fight as you beat in his face. I'm willing to forego my life if I can help you fight these villains and other monsters, and I'm not the only one. There is at least a dozen people here in Gotham, many of them my friends, who agree with you and are willing to help if you let them. Naruto took a moment to think. He has recruited villains and heroes alike that think like him. But normal people? Yes, that could work. I've never thought about it, until now. When my battle is over, yes, I will help the common person help themselves. I will recruit you and anyone willing to go as far as is needed, Radik. I'll fund an army of the people, for the people against anyone that cannot be redeemed. But that is a bit away from now. But Radik, I implore you and any friends you have. Leave Gotham and tell everyone that will listen. Gotham will be no more when the battle ends. I see. I'll leave with my family and take as many people with me as I can. Good luck, Naruto. I hope you win. It seems that you will make an army, Naruto. Yes, Ms. Vale. An army to protect you, and everyone that can't defend themselves from threats that the normal person cannot protect against. However, I must end this interview now, Ms. Vale. I will say one last thing. Gotham will be no more. It is the only place that Obito will face me at, hoping that I will hold back for the sake of the people's homes. I must not and will not hold back. I must tell everyone to leave the city. It will be a wasteland once the battle is done, should I win. He turned to Vicky Vale. Thank you for this, Ms. Vale, but now I must go. Thank you for coming, Mr. Uzumaki. And know that I believe you, and it seems that at least a few others do as well, she told him. He nodded, then left by a murder of crows, for a show of course, shocking everyone. Someone even said badass about his exit in the background. I hope that anyone that had doubts about Naruto's innocence is now put to rest. But now we must focus on this battle that Naruto and Obito shall have. I and all of Gotham now implore all of the people in Gotham to evacuate the city before next week. I myself shall stay if only to record this battle so that everyone in the world can see just how heroic Naruto truly is. This is Vicky Vale for Gotham now, she said, and the show ended. A few days later, it was 5 days until the final battle will take place. The countdown, as many said. However, already many had voluntarily evacuated the city while others stayed stubbornly. Naruto had told the police to force the evacuation of Gotham, even if they had to call the National Guard. He would force anyone to leave the day before the battle, no matter where they are. The Justice League has hounded Artemis about his for the past few days now, and she has said nothing about him to them since the first time. He didn't mind it at all. She seems to want to change sides, back to young injustice. Brother, do you need me with you in this final battle against your greatest enemy? Bane's face came to life on his monitor. I too am willing to help if I can. Mr. Freeze's face was now also on the monitor. Naruto thought about it. All of their power and strength. Yes. I could use your help. If Obito does what I think he's going to do, then I'll need your help as well as Young Injustice's help as well. I might even get Artemis' help in this fight. Our honored sister shall join us. Excellent. I'll be in Gotham soon, brother. It is good that Artemis shall join us. I'll also be there and help if I can. Both scenes shut off as he heard someone walk in. Naruto didn't bother to look back. He knew who it was. Nice to see you, Artemis. Paula. He turned to face them. It seemed that Paula was still getting used to walking and was leaning on Artemis. Although this is a surprise to see you here, Paula. Artemis. I am happy to see you nonetheless. I am glad you're walking, Paula. Although I'm surprised you brought her here, Artemis. I'm surprised that you're surprised, Naruto. Artemis said, I guess you're right. Your mother can be very pervasive when she wants to be. Naruto smiled, remembering her little challenge Naruto's manliness she did on him. Artemis guided her mother to the sofa and she sat down. Nearby, Raven was reading a book, Ravenger was weight training on the training mat, and Red X was playing a racing game online. Nice place you got here, Naruto. It has just about anything one could want in a home. Paula said, You're welcome to stay if you want, Paula. Although commenting on my base of operations is the last thing on your mind right now, isn't it? Yes, it is. I need to know, Naruto. Why you helped me? Paula asked. Naruto tilted his head. A strange question to ask, Paula. You're the mother of my first friend in this world. You did what you could to protect your family, and it cost you much. The serum I gave you was to give you a second chance at being a mother to Artemis that you never got with your oldest daughter. He explained to them. What? You know about Jade? How? Paula asked. Artemis was also shocked. Jade had vanished for some time, and she had never seen or heard from her in years, save for that one time a few weeks back. Yes, I know about your oldest daughter, Paula. You cannot hide the fact that you felt empty without both of your daughters. It is something that came to me, Naruto told her. I've already made it one of my priorities to find her, although I've had no luck as of yet. However, searching for her has been pushed back for obvious reasons. Thank you, Naruto. It means a lot to me, Paula said. Now, back to Artemis. Why did you bring your mother here? Naruto asked her. She's safe here. From the League, and form whatever this Obito guy is after. Artemis explained. True. I'll give her a pass key so she can come and go as she pleases. Naruto got to work on that. Naruto, what are you going to do about Obito? I mean, you've been talking like he's your equal or better than you. Artemis asked. Because he is. The power I showed against the Justice League and even to Young Justice was nothing compared to my full power. Damn right it isn't. I was wondering where you went. I was have my month-long nap. Nothing to do here except watch you fight. But now, I might get to enjoy one last good fight in this world. So glad I can entertain you. Yet Obito is even stronger than that. Although I don't know his full power as he's never used it. However, he knows he must face me in less than a week, and he knows that the people leaving is the way I can go all out. Although he doesn't want that, he will have to make do with my full power, Naruto told her, and the rest of the team. However, Young Injustice and the Vengeance League will be there in case he pulls something I'm expecting him to do. Vengeance League? Really? Must you criticize everything I name? Your names are corny. Like when you gave me that new uniform and named it Huntress. What? Artemis only then realized her mistake. Her mother didn't like that name one bit. What's this about a Huntress uniform? Paula asked Artemis. Artemis, being the bright and smart blonde that she is, did that one thing she knew she could do in the name of self-preservation. It was Naruto's idea. Paula turned her motherly rage to Naruto, who was frozen white. It seems that Obito won't get to face me at full power. Well, if he didn't have Kyuubi boosting his healing factor, then that would be the case. Luckily that is not the case, and Paula got to beat on Naruto until he could explain. Day of final battle. It was time. The day had arrived and it was only minutes away from when and where the battle was to take place. Naruto had told the Justice League to stay out of it as they will just die for getting in the way, and he wouldn't bother to save them, as it was his fight, his world's fourth great ninja war, to finish. He did not know if they will heed his demand. Although Batman tried to interrogate him to no avail. He waited in a clearing near the World Tree. He knew that Obito might try something to the tree, so he would meet him here instead of there. What are you doing here? Naruto said. Soon after, Artemis came into view. What does it look like? It looks like you wish to help. I told you not to unless I call upon you. Besides, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Young Justice. Naruto said out loud. When he did, Aqualad and the rest of Young Justice came into view. Soon after, Young Injustice came into view. The full spectrum of justice is now on the field. Naruto commented. We are here for 2 reasons. 1, to help if we can, and 2, Artemis is our teammate. We wish to help her in this endeavor. Aqualad explained. Brave words, or stupid, but at least brave. Naruto shook his head, but relented nonetheless. Very well. Have Mgan link everyone up. That includes Mr. Freeze and Bane. And don't bother trying to read their minds, Mgan. I have them protected. Naruto told her. Right. Link established. Sound off. Young Justice, Naruto ordered. Artemis, Robin, Kid Flash, Mgan, Aqualad, Supergirl, sound off. Young Injustice, Ravenger, Red X, Poison Ivy, Raven, V-League. Naruto didn't want to give it away just yet, although Robin did take note of it. Freeze, Bane, alright, listen up, you mainly Young Justice. You are only to attack if and only if I tell you to. Obito will have no qualms about killing any of you thinking it might harm me. I am projecting what he might do, and you are to respond accordingly. If he doesn't do what I think he will do, you back down and do not interfere. Got it? He told them. None responded other than a nod. They went back into the trees. One more thing. If he does do what I think he will do, you'll feel strange, and stronger. Naruto! Everyone saw Obito come into the clearing via vortex. Long time, he said. Not long enough. I would have loved it if you never made it here or anywhere for that matter, Obito, I'm sure. You brought this doom to this world when you brought us here. Now enough small talk. There is no need for that. We both know that this ends only one way, either you die, or I do. And like all Jinchuriki before you, you shall die. Naruto clenched his fist in anger. He truly felt alone in that respect. He was the last Jinchuriki. Indeed. But don't think being bonded to a tailed beast is a bad thing. Being bonded to Kyuubi made me stronger than ever. Naruto pointed out. Let us see if that's true then. Forbidden Jutsu, reanimation. Obito slammed his hands to the ground. Thought as much. Everyone, get ready, you'll get some action today it seems. Naruto knew what he was going to do, and didn't bother to try to stop him. Once he started the jutsu there was no point as it won't stop with the caster's death, and destroying the coffins won't destroy the bodies he was resurrecting despite popular belief. The 8 coffins had the kanji 1 to 8 on them all. If you want to fight me, you'll have to get through them first. Obito said as the last generation of the Jinchuriki stood in front of Naruto, Obito left by a vortex. Who are these guys? Kid Flash asked. What I'd figured he'd do. These are my brothers and sisters Jinchuriki. Gaara of the Desert, Yujutoni, Yagura, Rashi, Han, Utakata, Fu and Killer Bee. The last generation. Naruto said to them. Jump in when I say and not a moment sooner. Do what I tell you to do and you'll live. Do not hesitate, my brothers and sisters are dead so they feel no pain. You need not worry about killing them. Naruto said to them, your world have powers to bring the dead back to life. Robin asked, not the time. Get ready. Naruto activated his chakra mode, from the chakra he took from Kyuubi a few days before he launched himself and Obito into this world. Play Man of Steel movie soundtrack. If you love these people, Rashi, Han, Yagura and Utakata took formation in front of Naruto. Han and Rashi in front, Yagura behind them, and Utakata behind him. Smart for their skills, Rashi attacked first. Rashi covered his hands in stone and lava and tried to grab Naruto. Naruto dodged his attempt into the near waiting hands of Han. Han took a heavy swing at Naruto, he ducked and Han shattered at least a dozen trees into toothpicks. Naruto made a planetary Rasengan and sent him into the air. You'll pay for this, Obito! You hear me? You'll fucking pay! Naruto yelled, feeling sadness and anger for having to fight his Jinchuriki brothers and sisters. Naruto looked to his left when he felt a massive build-up of chakra. It was Utakata. Naruto made a planetary Rasengan and attacked Utakata with blinding speed. Faster than the Flash. However, Yagura made a water shield to protect him. The shield shattered and Yagura was sent skidding back, however Utakata managed to gather the chakra he needed. Naruto got away from him to avoid Utakata's onslaught of hundreds bubbles. Artemis! Naruto yelled. Artemis came down from nothing. She was covered head to toe with the same chakra that Naruto was covered in. She felt powerful, more powerful than she's ever felt before. She drew 3 arrows and fired them at Utakata's bubbles. However, what came from her bow was not 3 arrows, but hundreds of energy arrows. All of her arrows destroyed the bubbles and hit Utakata. When the attack was over, Naruto hit him with a planetary Rasengan. 8 on 1, huh? Even with your so-called friends helping, you still don't have a chance to win this fight. Let's see what you can do against such impossible odds. Obito taunted. Naruto continued to fight his now deceased kin. However, Rashi charged his chakra next. Rashi then slammed his fist into the ground and lava rocks came from underneath Naruto, targeting him. Naruto had little trouble getting out of their way. Robin! Ravager! Both came out of nowhere, both covered head to toe with Naruto's 9-tailed chakra. Robin threw a flash freeze bomb that Batman is known for, and then kicked them all in the air. Right into the waiting clutches of Ravager. She then did a fast spin, shattering all of the rocks into smaller spiked shards, then kicked to Rashi. Rashi covered himself as he was pummeled by the ice shards. Rashi took the damage. When the ice shard assault ended, Rashi was greeted by Naruto's planetary Rasengan. sending Rashi into the trees, shattering them into toothpicks. Han took this time to grab Naruto and throw him into the city. The force that Han threw Naruto shattered windows when Naruto passed by. Naruto landed on the side of a tall building, shattering the glass formed the force of his stop. Naruto looked up to see Han's fist a foot from his face. In a blink of an eye, Naruto managed to dodge the attack. However, the shocked wave from Han's attack destroyed the building, and a few other buildings behind that one. Yet Han did not relent. Using the falling chunks of concert, Han relaunched himself in the air, and then came down on the skyscraper that Naruto was on. However, Naruto was there, but the power behind the attack shattered the building all the way down to the base. Naruto moved to another, then another, and then finally he moved to Wayne Tower. Then Han came and destroyed it as well. Raven! Raven appeared in a black raven portal as Han again jumped high into the air. Han was coming down for another attack. When Han was mere inches away from Naruto, faced a black portal sending Han right through it. Another came in front of Naruto, and so did Han. Naruto was to the right of Han. Naruto grabbed Han's hand with one of his Churka arms and then slammed his planetary Rasengan, sending Han into manned buildings before crashing into another building, most likely a library. Naruto sees Yagura jump on the building across from himself. Yagura began charging his Churka. Poison Ivy, Kid Flash! Naruto yelled. Kid Flash appeared next to Naruto. Go! Naruto vanished. Kid Flash ran when Yagura fired his reef attack. It instantly went after KF. KF ran, also covered in Naruto's chakra, faster than he's ever ran before, easily the same speed as the Flash. However, Yagura's attack was right behind him. Almost as soon as KF lifts his foot, the reef rises up. Kid Flash continued to run around the city with the reef getting closer and closer. He then made a right and is now running right toward Yagura. Yagura saw this and made his hardened water shield. However, vines came from all around him and absorbed the water. My babies need plenty of water. Kid Flash took this chance to hit Yagura square in the face, sending him into other buildings, only for Naruto to appear behind him and shove a planetary Rasengan. The force nearly destroys Yagura's body. The force sends Yagura back the park. Good job! Naruto told the two. Ivy and KF vanished into thin air. Very good, however you still got 4 to go. How will you survive the rest of your brethren, Jinchuriki? Naruto? Obito's voice. Naruto jumped when bright blue fire hit the rooftop. The culprit was Yujito. It pained him to see her like this, not just her, but all of his Jinchuriki brothers and sisters. He moved to another building when Fu tried to cut him using her fan slash. Naruto blocked Killer Bee's right hook, however the rooftop was not so lucky, the force shattered the rooftop. Naruto grabbed his underarm and threw him at Fu. She caught him but sent her along with Killer Bee and they went through many buildings. Then the building that Naruto was on started to collapse. Naruto landed on the ground. Only a block away was none other than Gaara. Gaara sent a small wave of sand at Naruto. Using his chakra, Naruto did several backflips before sending a small wave of water to stop the sand. Gaara responded by charging a massive amount of chakra. Out of the ground, a massive tidal wave of sand erupted, towering over the remaining buildings by a few stories easily. Naruto used his Flying Thunder God Jutsu and was now near the largest body of water. Aqualad! Aqualad appeared next to Naruto. Like all the rest, he too was covered and empowered by Naruto's 9-tailed chakra. Using his own abilities and control over water, he created his own tidal wave. Naruto used his power and appeared on top of it. Gaara sent his wave to them and Aqualad sent his wave to Gaara. The wave of sand destroyed every building it came into contact with. The same thing could be said when the wave of water. When both collided, a vortex of mud erupted, covering 12 square blocks in 2-story tall mud. When they did collide, Naruto used his Flying Thunder God Jutsu and appeared right behind Gaara with a planetary Rasengan in hand. His sand shield couldn't save him and Naruto hit Gaara with everything he had. It pained him to do it, but it needed to be done. Gaara was thrown through many buildings, destroying them. No sooner than that did Naruto get blindsided by Yujito. She was using one tail, and was faster than normal. She then used her cat hair balls. The fireballs spilt up into 7 or so smaller fireballs that followed Naruto. Naruto escaped them only for them to destroy a building's base. The building came down. Yujito charged her own massive amount of chakra. Red X freeze! Freeze and X came down. Yujito fired dozens of small fireballs at the group. Mr. Freeze brought up his freeze gun, charged by Naruto's chakra, and fired at the fireballs. The freeze beam and the fireballs cancelled each other out, and a thick mist was created. From the mist a red X blade came and taking with it the mist, right to Yujito. However, the X was charged, not only by Naruto's chakra, but with lighting. When it hit Yujito, the lighting stunned her, allowing Naruto to appear behind her and hit her with a planetary Rasengan. He then got away from a wind blade in an orange flash as it cut into the buildings around him. Down the street Naruto saw Killer Bee and Fu walking toward him. Now the strongest of the Jinchuriki is all that is left. Killer Bee started and launching himself at Naruto. Naruto blocked his punch and then Fu's as she got close to him with her flight ability. He blacked his but Bee hit him with the tail. Naruto skidded back several miles before stopping by crashing into a statue. Fu appeared above him and punched him in his face, making him bounce. She then grabbed bother of Naruto's legs, took him high in the air, and punched him back to the ground. Right into the waiting arms of Bee, who proceeded to give Naruto a bone-crushing bear hug. Naruto felt his bones breaking, so he had hugged Bee to let him go. Bee grabbed his arm and punched him so hard the shockwave shattered nearby windows. Naruto was thrown back right into Fu and she clotheslined him. Naruto was a little dazed while he tried to get up. However, Killer Bee ran at him and grabbed his neck, dragging him on the street. Naruto then kicked Bee off him and Fu was right on him. Naruto stopped her attack and sent her into a car, destroying it. She got up and started to charge up an insane amount of chakra. Gan came down next to him. When Fu was done charging, she started to spin rapidly, creating a tornado of gold and green dust. The dust covered the area, making it seem that all of them disappeared, the buildings and streets, everything. It then did seem that millions of Fus were in the area and charging Naruto and Gan. The pair just stood there waiting for Fu to attack. All of the Fus charged Naruto and Gan, and right when the large group hit the pair, nothing happened. The attack landed, yet nothing happened. Then they vanished as the only thing that was there was a car. However, the real Fu was revealed when the dust was blown away by Gan. Not that Naruto needed it. Naruto used his chakra arm and grabbed Fu and then shoved a planetary Rasengan in her gut, sending her away. Then there was the last brother of his to deal with. Killer Bee. He was the most like Naruto in Naruto's eyes. Willing to do whatever it takes to protect the people that are important to them, and like the other Jinchuriki that Naruto fought before now, it pained him to do so. Both rushed at each other and meet in the middle, shattering everything that was near their point of impact. Naruto was flown back as Killer Bee was physically strong than him. Naruto crashed into many buildings and other things before stopping. When he looked up, he saw Killer Bee charging his own massive amount of chakra. Supergirl! Bane! Both Supergirl and Bane jumped down. Go! Supergirl and Bane, covered in Naruto's chakra, ran/flew to Killer Bee. Supergirl going only slightly faster than Bane, by choice. Killer Bee finished charging and changed into his four-tailed cloak and charged at them. The gap closed fast as they reached each other. Bee put all he had into punching them. However, both Supergirl and Bane punched his arms, making him valuable to an attack as his defenses are down. Naruto got in between them and hit Bee with his planetary Rasengan, and he forced Bee into the ground, creating a crater from his power. Very nice. But this isn't over. End Man of Steel movie soundtrack. If you love these people, Naruto told Bane and Supergirl to go back into hiding. Naruto was looking around for Obito. He found him on one of the taller buildings that hasn't been destroyed yet. Their human forms aren't just getting it done. Naruto looked shocked. He wouldn't. Maybe this will liven things up. He raised his hand and all 8 of the tailed beast hosts got up from there. They landed. They all vanished, and in their place, the 1 tails, Sand Raccoon, the 2 tails, Fire Cat, the 3 tails, Demon Turtle, the 4 tails, Lava Gorilla, the 5 tails, Whale Horse, the 6 tails. Acid Slug, the 7 tails. Hercules Beetle, the 8 tails. Octopus Ox, their tailed beast states. Naruto looked around him. Guys, get out of here! He yelled at the group in the cloaked bioship. Go! Obito said calmly. Each tailed beast charged forward. Play Bleach OST Invasion, HQ, Extended Lyrics. Naruto looked at the 3 tails and the 6 tails. As they were closer to him than the others, they jumped at him. I told you to get out of there. Naruto told them. And we told you no. We'll help if we can. Artemis told him over the link. The 3 tails turned into a ball and was rolling towards Naruto. Naruto got out of its way as he bowling balled its way through the buildings. Noticing that Naruto had evaded the clumsy attack, the 6 tails, for the lack of a better word, puked out a wave of acid that melted the area trying to get at Naruto. Naruto jumped high onto some buildings, created a pair of planetary Rasengan, one in each hand, and a pair of chakra hands lashed out and grabbed the head of the 6 tails, and closed in on it, then slammed each Rasengan into its head, knocking it back. Using the 6 tails' head and as a diving board launched off it and to the 3 tails. Still high in the air, Naruto grabbed it with his chakra arms, then used more chakra arms to grab a hold of the ground, then using the moment to lift the 3 tails into the air and slam the 3 tails into the down 6 tails. Even without bones, one would think something broke in the 6 tails' body. When Naruto landed on the ground, he was tired. That took nearly everything out of him. I'm surprised you've lasted this long against the beasts, but... Obito made a motion. Time to end this party. That motion ordered the 5 tails and the 3 tails to charge him. The 3 tails was rolling while the 5 tails just galloped. Naruto was too tired to move that second. However, he didn't have to. Someone landed in front of him, and another next to that person. It was Bane and Supergirl. However, they were still covered in his chakra. Bane stopped the 3 tails with his bare hands and Supergirl stopped the 5 tails. Supergirl lifted the 5 tails and hurled it into the air. Bane did the same with the 3 tails. The 5 tails landed first, with the 3 tails landing on him. However, the tailed beasts were far from done. They were barely starting. The 2 tails came next. It jumped high in the air, then fired a large fireball at Naruto. Aqualad came down next, using the power that Kyuubi's granted him, and sent a torrent of water to the fireball. Both sides fought for but a moment, and the fireball was snuffed out. Mist covered the area, allowing the 6 tails to surprise Naruto and attack him with its acid attack. Aqualad had already left the area. Naruto jumped back then high up to avoid the attack. Naruto looked behind him when he saw the 7 tails come at him. At the last second, he grabbed its horn to avoid being gored. The 7 tails forced Naruto back. However, using his strength, Naruto sent the 7 tails flying. However, that left him open when the 4 tails came out from under him with its mouth wide open, ready to swallow him whole. Naruto! Everyone yelled. Pause. Bleach OST Invasion, HQ, Extended Lyrics. Everyone was shocked when Naruto eaten whole by the 4 tails. Everyone around the world despaired. Obito smiled. Perfect. I'll be taking the 9 tails now, and with it, this world. That won't happen! Artemis yelled. She aimed her bow at Obito. We won't let you take him. Oh, and how can you, mere mortals, stop someone like me? Do you even know why I need him? Obito asked with a sick grin, not that any of them saw that. You need a piece that he has for what you wish to do. Aqualad told him. That is indeed what I need. But do you know what I need from him? I doubt that you know how I intend to get it. You need the 9 tails seal inside him. Don't you? Gan told him. Obito looked visibly shocked at her answer. How did? We all know now. Supergirl told him. When he gave us his chakra, combined with the mind link, we all gain a slight bit of his feelings and memoirs, and even... Artemis started. And even a bit of understanding as to why he is doing what he's doing. Robin finished. I see. Color me surprised. There is no why that happened by chance. It seems that the 9 tails helped in that regard. You may have some power that the 9 tails gave you, but even that is but a sliver of the that I have. I've defeated Naruto. What hope do you have? He asked them. The team up of Young Justice and Young Injustice. The hope that we have is something that you cannot understand. We fight for a better tomorrow. We fight knowing that we might not see tomorrow, we may not have a future to see, but… Aqualad started. We fight and die, knowing that everyone that we save will have a future. Supergirl yelled. Obito scoffed. You sound like Naruto. He is like that. I was like that, but what about the people you can't save? You can't save everyone, and the ones you can't save have no future. That is what Naruto and his team is for. Artemis started. We understand him. He will avenge whom we cannot save. Balance, I see. You now understand what me and Naruto are, if only a bit. But this debate is already over. I have won. Obito looked up. What? Arg? Naruto opened the mouth of the Four Tails' son. And right in front of the team and Obito. Naruto Uzumaki! Don't you ever quit! Obito sneered. Naruto, you scared the hell out of us! Artemis yelled at him. Sorry about that, but gotten eaten for a second time actually helped me. I learned about the tailed beasts and their names, more now than I've ever had. Names? And what would those be? Obito asked. Hen, you didn't know. Not surprised, I didn't either until now. But I'm not telling your shit. Restart Bleach OST Invasion, HQ, Extended Lyrics. Naruto charged his Churka and charged Obito. Obito managed to get away and was on a ruined building. What's with all that extra power? He asked himself. He needed to know and jumped down himself. He barely got on the ground when Naruto kicked him twice in the head. Naruto, I am unlike the other tailed beasts. It takes time to earn my trust. Humans always talk about the same thing. Naruto planted a planetary Rasengan in Obito's gut, before using his chakra arms to hit him again. Obito tried to hit Naruto with his fan, but Naruto used his speed to avoid it. I've been observing your actions for a long time now. So you should understand this too. No matter what you try to talk about, it means nothing to me. It doesn't speak to my heart. Naruto did many quick movements behind Obito when he was knocked into the air, then hammered by Naruto's fist. Obito landed on his back and left the area. He pointed his finger forward and the Four Tails and the Five Tails moved to engage Naruto. Naruto engaged with the Five Tails first. He got in its face and shoved 4 Rasengan the size of boulders in its face. That disorientated it enough for Naruto to move on. He moved to the Four Tails. The Four Tails tried to smash Naruto with his fist, but that didn't happen as Naruto was too fast for him. Naruto did an uppercut to the Four Tails with a Rasengan, and that sent the Four Tails back a bit. However, the Five Tails had already began to charge its chakra and then charge at Naruto. It was halfway to Naruto when Bane, Gan and Supergirl jumped in front of Naruto. Bane and Gan each stopped the front legs while Supergirl pushed on its head. Naruto used the face that they stopped it slam a Rasengan on the back of the neck of the Five Tails. The Five Tails was disorientated and left the battlefield. Obito took its place on the field only to receive a planetary Rasengan to the face. Naruto didn't let up as he did a twin kick to his face/mask as well. Distance, beyond one's reach. The distance between your power and his is beyond your reach to obtain alone. He has had more time to obtain the power he has now. He has had more time to control it than you. Naruto was vaguely listening to Kurama, gaining the name of his partner by the other tailed beasts. Obito tried to counterattack by using his Whirlwind Fire Tornado Jutsu. Naruto got behind him and shoved a planetary Rasengan in his back, sending him away into rocks. You are fighting an uphill battle, Naruto. A losing uphill battle. There is no hope for your victory in this fight. And when you lose, this world falls with you. And yet, there was that time. I will bring peace to this world, Grandpa, believe it. A younger Naruto told Madara, as he had pasted on. I know you will, my grandson. And that time, you threw it all away. You threw away your dreams. The people that cared about you. For what? Revenge. A 12-year-old Naruto yelled at the 4th Mizukage. You don't understand, said the 4th Mizukage. One day, when you're older, you'll understand. I'll never understand you. I will never throw away my friends or my dreams for anything. Tisk. And that time, Obito left the battlefield. The 2-tailed fire cat and the 7-tailed Hercules beetle. The fire cat fired a large fireball, then the seven tails increased its power by kicking up some chakra-enhanced wind. Naruto managed to avoid being cocked alive. These two will be a difficult pair to beat. Naruto charged his chakra and dashed past the two tails and slammed a ship-sized Rasengan in the seven tails' gut, sending it crashing down into the ground. The two tails ran at Naruto full speed. However, Naruto put a pair of Rasengans in the two tails' face, then hammered its head with his chakra fists. Then repeated without relenting until the seven tails knocked Naruto away a little later. Wind style, Rasen Shrunken! Naruto created a Rasen Shrunken, one in each of the four chakra hands that he made. Then he threw them and set them on fire with Amaterasu! 4 black fire Rasen Shrunkens were on their way to the seven tails. All 4 hit the seven tails at once and exploded in a sphere of black fire and high-pitched sound. When the dust cleared, the seven tails looked like hell. It moved out of the battlefield. Obito came down and hit Naruto with his wind tornado, then hit him again with some kunai bombs. Naruto was thrown back but caught himself and attacked Obito once more. It seems you've got some power from the other tailed beasts. Even so, it is not enough for the breakthrough you need. You're a dead man walking. At this rate you will eventually lose to him. Naruto was unleashing hell on Obito with a fury of kicks and punches. Each punch has enough power to shatter mountain ranges to dust, and every kick has enough power to make tsunamis. Even if Obito felt the power behind it, he had the power to take it and give it. Naruto, if you truly want to do something for us tailed beasts, from the bottom of your heart, show me what you can do in this dire situation. Show me your potential. Like you've done countless times before. You know nothing of pain. Why should I listen to a person like you? An enraged Gaara asked. You think I know nothing of pain? I know it all too well, Gaara. I just choose a different path than you. I've kept my dreams, whereas you didn't. A younger Naruto yelled at Gaara before they were friends. But I'll make you remember. And if there is nothing there, I'll make you forge a new dream, and that time, you think what I will do is nothing but a dream. Then you don't know jack shit. Naruto Shirju Uchiha Uzumaki. I will bring peace to this world. Even if I have to kill everyone from here to it, I will bring peace. Naruto yelled at Kabuto, whom insulted his dream to bring peace as a child fantasy. Just like a child. If you truly wish to prove me wrong, beating me is the only way. Kabuto told him. Ha! And here I thought that you'll give me something hard to do. I'll prove it to you first. And that time, Obito jumped away from Naruto before he could land another planetary Rasengan in his face. Then sent the last two tailed beasts. The one tail and the 8 tails. The one tail sent a small wave of sand, only about the size of building. Naruto ran on top of it, getting closer to the pair. The 8 tails spat ink at Naruto to slow him down. Naruto jumped high to avoid the ink as well. Naruto then saw the one tail swell up with air. Then it slammed its own stomach and out came a large ball of high-pressure air. Naruto got out of its way in the simplest of fashions. He subbed out with a car. The car was destroyed, however now Naruto was right in front of the one tail. He made a large Rasengan in each of his 4 chakra hands and nailed the one tail in the gut. Naruto then jumped to eye level with the one tail and continued to hammer its head with his chakra arms. Then did one last Rasengan the size of a ship and slammed it into the one tail's head. It deformed back into sand and left the battle, leaving only Naruto with the 8 tails. The 8 tails charged Naruto horns first. Naruto used his chakra arms to grab it by the horns to stop it. However, Naruto was skidding back by the force that the 8 tails was sending to Naruto. Naruto used 2 more hands to stop him from being taken too far. Then Naruto, using every ounce of strength left in his body, lifted the 8 tails off the ground and into the air. He then created a chakra construct that looked like a windmill with a Rasengan at each end, then threw it at the skyward 8 tails. The 8 tails tried to grab the windmill Rasengan but failed. It slammed into the chest of the 8 tails, creating a large ball of chakra that the 8 tails was engulfed in. It crashed to the ground and Naruto gave it an uppercut with a Rasengan for good measure. The 8 tails got up, and then left the battlefield. Obito came down to face Naruto once more only to get greeted with a planetary Rasengan. You whom has no answer for peace should just give up. Pain yelled at Naruto. Just shut the fuck up about me giving up. Naruto yelled back and finished with a Rasengan to the chest. Show me again just as always. Let me feel that potential. Prove it with your actions. That's what you're all about. If Kurama wanted Naruto to prove his ideals with his actions, then Kurama will get what he wants. Naruto slid underneath Obito, sending him into the air. Naruto used his speed to build up power and to get behind him. Naruto then hammered him with his chakra arm, then meet him before they could crash land and hit him once more with a planetary Rasengan that sent Obito through many rocks. Obito got up no worse for wear, then did a backdash to get to where the tailed beasts are. TSK. He never lets up. End Bleach OST Invasion, HQ, Extended, Lyrics. Naruto was out of it. He had used a lot of chakra and he still hasn't really faced Obito yet. You've longer than I thought, I'll give you that. Naruto's chakra mode let up. But no matter how long you fight, it's all for nothing. You cannot dispute that my fighting ability outmatches yours. Not yet. Naruto was huffing to catch his breath. But why? Why be so stubborn? Obito asked. I made a promise, Obito. A promise to my mother, my father, all of the tailed beasts and their Jinchuriki, and him that I would bring peace, defeat all hatred, even if I have to take it all myself, so I'll never stop fighting, never stop, never give up. That is my ninja way. Naruto told him, standing up once more. Yes, that's the Naruto I know. Arg. Naruto charged Obito fruitlessly, as Obito just used Kamui to avoid the attack. Then Naruto was staring down the 8-tailed beasts. Do you ever quit babbling? Obito asked rhetorically. Then all 8 of the tailed beasts started to charge one massive tailed beast bomb. Naruto noticed this, hard not to, but he had nothing left in order to stop it. No one in the world could stop this. How? Naruto, don't tell me this is all it takes to intimidate you. Kurama looked at Naruto from his new cage. Is this all it takes to do you? And I don't think so. No, it's not. I'm just trying to think of a way to get out of this. So far I got one thing that might work. As always, not a glimpse of giving up in your eyes. I'll get out of this, just you watch. If you want to borrow some power from me, I won't object, Naruto. Kurama told him. Naruto was shocked, but then smiled. I'm glad you want to let me borrow some power, but first there is something I want to say. Thanks for helping me out against my grandfather back in our world. Even though I have his blood, GRRGH. No need to get mushy. I only did that because you're a better option than Madara. And besides, I can only give you a little chakra anyway, because of this cage. I just grew a little more interested in your fight this time, that all. Yup, just to pass the time. Why are you so mad that I said thanks? Even if you can't change that look of yours, we really need to work on your attitude. Kurama placed his fist in front of Naruto. Bond our chakra together. What? Another chakra tag of war? We don't need to do that this time, dummy. Although I am a bit bored at the moment, that might liven things up a bit. Kurama said, thinking of all the times that he gave Naruto his power. In times where he tapped into it unknowingly, unwillingly, forcefully, and in desperate times, Naruto fist bumped with Kurama. Naruto undid the seal, and it slowly undid itself. Naruto remembered some of the last words his grandfather said to him on his deathbed. Naruto, I took you from your life some time ago, after your parents died. I took you on a whim, and out of curiosity. I wanted to see if love can truly overcome hate in this world. Now I see that it is possible. However, you must overcome the greatest hatred in the world now, and that hate is the 9 tails. To overcome the 9 tails hate will prove to me once and for all that I was wrong. And for the first time in my long life, I wish to be proven wrong. Prove to me that hate can be overtaken by love, and save this world. Naruto let out a tear for his grandfather. You're not just a 9-tailed fox anymore. You never were. You're my friend, my partner. Kurama! Kurama was shocked. For the first time, he saw the shadow of the old man once again. Aside Naruto, Outside the seal, Naruto felt a greater surge of chakra than ever before. Argh! Naruto was then engulfed in bright orange chakra that blinded anyone that looked into it. When the light dimmed a bit, everyone that was watching, everyone that could in the world, saw Naruto inside a 9-tailed bipedal energy fox. What? Obito looked on as Naruto emerged in his tailed beast state. You're too late! Obito did a few hand signs as the other tailed beasts finished off charging their super tailed beast bomb. Naruto already started to charge his own. Begone! The tailed beasts fired their TBB, tailed beast bomb. Naruto and Kurama fired their own. It matched the near minute-long charge of the other 8-tailed beasts in the few seconds that they had to charge their own. Naruto's tailed beast bomb hit the group 1 into the air and it exploded, sending anyone that wasn't strong enough to the ground. Namely the bioship and Vicky's chopper. However, Supergirl saved them. Obito surveyed the area. Nothing really happened that he cared about. Although all but the edges of Gotham now were just rubble and ash. No, let's go Kurama! Naruto said as he charged the 8 other tailed beasts. One thing was for sure, it was going to be a rumble, with whatever is left of Gotham as the ring. Naruto, the power of the 9 tails! Play Bleach AMV Yami, Stark, Barragan, Halibel the Sorcerer remix. Naruto jumped at the Shikaku first, firing a few shock waves at him. Shikaku fired back with his air bullets. Hey, let me make this clear. Our first merging isn't perfect. There's no telling how long this will last. It's enough, even with the 9 tails power. It's still nothing in the face of 8-tailed beasts. It seems he doesn't know about my power. Yeah, we can only get away with that once. Let's go and beat the shit out of him, Naruto so kindly suggested. Naruto continued to pound Shikaku until Matatabi jumped on his back. Naruto grabbed and slammed her on Shikaku and that turned some of his sand skin to glass. He charged a tailed beast bomb and aimed it at the 2 of them and fired. Matatabi managed to get away before being bombed, however Shikaku was not as lucky. He was now mostly glass. Naruto charged at him and did a jump kick to shatter him to pieces. Matatabi charged her chakra and fired 5 large fire balls at Naruto. He just blocked it, and then charged a tailed beast bomb, then fired it. Matatabi had no change in dodging that and was hit. Naruto began his charge but stopped when Isabu rolled in front of him. Naruto stopped, grabbed Isabu and rolled him to Matatabi like a bowling ball. Matatabi was still dazed from the TBB and was rolled by the Naruto's Isabu bowling ball. Naruto jumped right in front of her and delivered a devastating punch to her face, knocking her out and into the ruined city. Isabu was comically using his tails to try and get himself up as he was on his back. Naruto went to him, rolled him up in a ball once more and started slamming him into the ground a few times, then threw him with all his might into Son Goku and then fired a TBB at them both. Isabu was defeated for sure, and then Naruto charged after Son. Son was dazed from being hit by Isabu, then later a TBB by the 9 tails. Naruto hammed him with his fists, then punched and kicked Son with devastating force. Son tried to attack back but it was pointless. Naruto created a large shock wave that caused Son to become unbalanced. Naruto then reared his fist back and punched Son square in the jaw, knocked him far back. Kokuo started charging at Naruto. However, Naruto just grabbed his horns and lifted him up and slammed him to the ground. He then hammed his stomach, doing major damage. He was about to do it again when he was hit from behind by some acid-formed Saiken. Kokuo used this distraction and kicked Naruto away from him. Naruto only skidded away from him a bit. Naruto hit Saiken with one of his tails to get him away from him, then turned his attention to Kokuo once more. Kokuo charged at him once more, but when he did, Naruto did 4 front flips above him, charged and TBB in a second and fired it near point blank, taking him out of commission. Naruto turned his attention to Saiken. The slug fired thousands of bubbles at him. He just fired a few shock waves at the bubbles and they exploded. Naruto charged Saiken and started to pound the boneless mass of acid and slime. Saiken was no close combat fighter. He was all range, so in other words, he's screwed. Naruto, after beating him for a bit, jumped up, grabbed Saiken by the sides of his head, then did a front flip and slammed him to the ground, and he bounced away somewhere. Chomei attacked Naruto with 4 large tornadoes, each one was an F5 easily. Naruto had to dodge them or get hit hard by them. Chomei fired a large wind ball at Naruto, but he countered that with his shock wave. Naruto then fired a TBB at Chomei, but Chomei easily dodged it. Chomei then flew up high and came down horn first at Naruto. Naruto grabbed the horn and flipped Chomei onto her back. Chomei got back up and started to fly away, only for Naruto to grab her tail and fling her back to the ground. He then tossed her in the air and fired a TBB. Chomei was hit and knocked into the city, not getting back into the fight anytime soon. Naruto then was hit by ink by Gyuki. Naruto charged at the last tailed beast and Gyuki charged at Kurama. Gyuki tried to gore Naruto once more, but Naruto jumped and landed on Gyuki. Gyuki wrapped Naruto with his tails and sent him flying. However, Naruto anticipated this and wrapped his tails around Gyuki's and used the momentum of the throw to throw Gyuki into the air. Naruto then jumped after him and power-bombed Gyuki into the ground, causing a massive earthquake. Naruto then grabbed Gyuki by the snout and threw him back into the air. He charged a tail beast bomb and bombed Gyuki once more. Gyuki was defeated. The tailed beasts are slowing down. 9 tails, Obito said bitterly. And Bleach AMV Yami, Stark, Barragan, Halibel the Sorcerer Remix. Obito landed near the downed forms of the tailed beasts. It seems even now these forms are not enough. I must up it another notch, Obito said. Wait and no, too late. Obito did a few more hand signs and the tailed beast stood up. Then went back into the ghetto statue. Obito landed on the statue, then its open mouth released a black beam, then later shined a bright dark light, and changing the 10 tails. They could have made it awesome, but it was disappointing. Play White Knight Chronicles, OST, Disc 219. The Devil on a Black Horse. Naruto covered his face, then looked at what Obito had done. Out of the bright, yet dark, light, still engulfed in this dark light, the body itself looked like a wolf. However, the tails were that of a dragon, and each tail had a spiked tip. It was covered in black scales like a dragon, and only had fur on its legs. Its lone eye was the eye of the sage, as he called it. It could pierce cloud, shadow, earth, and flesh. The scales are so black light cannot reach it. Its breath killed any living thing around it. Its mere presence ending life, giving things like trees and grass, not that there was any left to take right now in Gotham. It was the 10-tailed wolf dragon, the end of all things Jubi. And White Knight Chronicles, OST, Disc 219. The Devil on a Black Horse. Naruto looked at the one thing that was a true god in his world. This primordial god Jubi can end all things, and almost did in his world, just as easily as it had created it. Damn! He must have had just enough of my power from the idiot brothers from Cloud. I heard about that. I heard that you had to puke them out because they gave you a stomach ache. Not true. That is their version, because the truth is far more humiliating to them. They gave me the shits and I have to crap them out. But we're off topic. How are you going to beat the Jubi? This is a being far stronger than me, and if you remember, this form is a being of pure death. I remember, so only attacks fueled by life can harm it. So my Sage Mode is the only form of chakra that can harm this thing. It seems we have to link up our chakra in order to take it out. Seems so. Just remember, we must win at all costs. No pressure. Obito jumped on top of the Jubi's head. You cannot hope to win this fight. You stand alone against the greatest being in our world, if not the universe. Your hope for victory ended the moment you stood before me. Your fight is over. Obito yelled out. Naruto smirked. You're right about one thing, Obito. Obito tilted his head. That was the last thing he expected to come out of Naruto's mouth. My fight is over, but... Naruto smirked, as did Kurama. It's our fight now. Play Transformers 3 It's Our Fight Remix. Naruto in full-tailed beast mode charged the Jubi. However, when he charged the Jubi, it just grabbed him and threw him across the ruined city, back to where the park and the world tree is. What's left of it anyway? The Jubi roared in its first round victory over Naruto and Kurama. Naruto, we can't just overpower this thing like we did with the others. We need a power-up, a boost to what the other 8-tailed beasts did for you, and that would be your world tree. It has grown in power since you've made it. However, the tree will die as a result. I hate to do it. But you are right, we must win this. Naruto could almost feel that the tree was telling him to take her power, her life, to give Naruto the strength he needed in this fight. I'm sorry, my friend. When this is over, I'll give you life again. Naruto and Kurama took the power and the life that he gave to Gotham's World Tree. He put 5 chakra chains deep into the World Tree and drained the World Tree of its life and power. Soon it withered and died. It lost all of its leaves and twisted itself and became black as death. Naruto used this power up and used one of his bloodline jutsu. Susanoo! Naruto yelled. Now their new form was like his new Kurama-tailed beast mode, however with the add-ons of a bone structure all around his body and the husks that he had on his Susanoo form. On top of that was a thick layer of armor all around Kurama and Naruto. Kurama roared once more with renewed vigor. That won't be enough! Obito yelled as he ordered the Jubi to charge. Naruto charged him as well. When they meet, a shockwave shattered the area. The Jubi got the upper hand as the pair of all-powerful beings tried to maul each other. The Jubi slammed Naruto onto the ground and attempted to bit his form's throat out. However, the armor was holding. Naruto then used his back legs and his tails to dig into the Jubi's skin and throw it off him. However, the Jubi used its own tails and grabbed Naruto's neck and dragged him a few city blocks with it. Naruto got up and then gave it a right claw to the Jubi's head. It did little to it at all. Naruto tried to gore it with his tusks, but the Jubi stopped him, then flipped him onto his back. When the Jubi tried to jump on Naruto, Naruto used his hind legs to toss the Jubi off him. Naruto got up and rushed at the Jubi. Naruto jumped at it only to be caught by the Jubi and thrown into the air. The Jubi made a tailed beast bomb and aimed it at the skyward Naruto. Naruto made his own. They fired at the same time. When the two tailed beast bombs collided with each other, the shock wave could be compared to a nuclear weapon, just far more powerful. It vaporized nearly all of what was left. The only thing still standing other than the two-tailed beasts was the dead world tree, although it was thinned out. In the bioship, everyone was shocked by the sheer amount of power that these two beings are dishing out to each other. Neither can Vicky, her cameraman and her pilot, all in the bioship. Naruto was on the ground looking for the Jubi. Its power was leaking out all over the place, so he couldn't pinpoint it. It was when he felt a buildup of power behind him. It was too late. The Jubi had a chakra-enhanced claw coming for Naruto. Naruto tried to stop him but was unsuccessful as the hand went right through Naruto's left shoulder. Ah! Naruto grabbed his left shoulder. His scream was heard and felt by anyone that could see or hear him, as he felt the claw go right through it. Naruto was forced back a bit, then the Jubi ripped the entire arm off him, then slowly ate the arm, chakra and the chakra bones. The Jubi was not done yet. It forced Naruto onto the tree and had him pinned. It roared in his face, then raised all 10 of its tails, all ready to impale Naruto. Naruto raised his 9 tails and stopped 9 of Jubi's tails. However, the 10th impaled Naruto, where his heart would be. It dug deeper and deeper. Ah! Naruto raised his right hand and started to create a sage art, tailed beast Rasengan. The Jubi started to gain even more power as it started to eat the area that the 9 tails is missing. It was eating the chakra as if it was flesh and the bones like chakra bones. Obito looked at Naruto as Naruto didn't seem to be doing anything, yet he never does nothing. Ah! Naruto yelled as he finished charging his sage art, tailed beast Rasengan. Naruto, no! Kurama yelled. No! No! Obito yelled as he jumped off the Jubi's head. Boom! The dome of fire from the epicenter of the blast spread out throughout Gotham. The entire city, if anything that was left, was now leveled to nothing but dust and rocks. The bioship tried to run, but it too was caught in the blast. And Transformers 3 It's Our Fight remix. It was a few minutes before Mgan or any of the Young Justice/Injustice came too. Soon after them, Vicky and the film crew came too. Surprisingly, the camera was still intact enough to continue filming. Everyone looked around, to see nothing, in terms of what was left of Gotham. Rare! The group looked at the site of the roar, only to see the Jubi. But it looks like it's melting. Roar! It roared again, but the reason this time was that Naruto, still with Kurama's form, still without the arm, jumped on the Jubi's back and dug into its back with his chakra chains. 2 more chains dug into the stump of the world tree to pull Naruto away from the Jubi. Obito came to just in time to see small parts of all of the tailed beasts being pulled from the Jubi. No! Obito recalled the ghetto statue and the chains attached themselves to the Jubi and pulled back. The tug-of-war, both sides pulling hard with the Jubi in the center. Naruto had a death hold on small parts of all the other tailed beasts and wasn't letting go. Obito decided to cut his losses and cut them off from the main body. Naruto managed to take the small fragments of the tailed beast inside himself, not enough to claim Jubi's power but enough to weaken the Jubi. The Jubi was put back in the statue back into 8 pieces thanks to Naruto. The statue started to return underground. Ugh! Naruto froze. Ugh! My time is up, can't lend any more power. Naruto, the rest is up to you. Naruto dropped and was back on the ground as his tailed beast mode ended. Right, I'll crush this guy with my bare hands if it's the last thing I do. Naruto started to run at Obito. Hemp, rip him to shreds. Naruto's tailed beast mode cloak ran out of power. Right, come on, play soundtrack 57, extended, the final showdown, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Ost. Naruto closed the gap and attacked Obito with a Trikunai only to get blocked by Obito's fan. The force sent both of them skidding back. The 9 Tails chakra is gone, and your chakra is just up. Defeat is imminent for you. Obito yelled out. Don't you wish? I can still fight. Naruto yelled back. Naruto made a Rasengan and tried to hit Obito with it, but he just used Kamui and avoided it. Obito used his fire fan jutsu to try to hit Naruto and did, but it was just a clone. The real Naruto came from behind and hit Obito with a giant Rasengan. That sent Obito flying back. Obito got back up and closed the gap, attacking Naruto with his fan and his fire fan jutsu. The blast sent Naruto skidding back across miles. All he did after that was get back up. You're a stubborn one, Obito commented. However, Naruto was already on him when he did. I'll do everything I can to make sure you lose, Naruto yelled. Naruto then started a clone beatdown on Obito. The clones switched out between kicking and hitting Obito, then the real Naruto kicked Obito high in the air. 2 clones got up with him, each one grabbed one of Obito's arms and legs and slammed him to the ground, with another clone of Naruto to hit him with a Rasengan. Obito got up after the clones puffed. You're in the way of my plan. Foolish 9 Tails. Obito then, once more, attacked Naruto with his face, trying to hit him with it. Naruto blocked it with his Rasengan. It made Obito skid back and to see a foot in front of his face. He managed to use Kamui before it landed and Naruto passed right through him. However, Naruto made a clone and launched off it and managed to punch Obito in the face. Then Naruto made a giant Rasengan and managed to hit Obito with it. The Rasengan sent Obito hurtling across the area. Obito just got up. Stop this fruitless resistance. All the resistance in the world won't change the fact that you have no future. Ha! I can see the future with my own eyes. But your eyes are blind to it. Naruto charged Obito once more and attacked him with another Rasengan. Naruto tried to hit Obito, but he again used Kamui, then tried to grab Naruto. He almost did, but Naruto got away from him before he could. Obito knocked Naruto in the air thanks to his fan, then threw 3 bomb kunai at Naruto. Naruto made 3 clones to take the blast for him. However, he was sent back, and skidded back far from Obito. However, both Naruto and Obito seemed to be on their last legs. My chakra is almost gone, Naruto huffed in his head. But still, Naruto made his normal sign. A large cloud of smoke came up and 3 clones of Naruto came out of it, charging Obito. 1 clone attacked head-on, but was blocked by the fan. 1 more attacked from behind but again was blocked by the fan, then the last clone attacked a little above him. Then all 3 clones attacked at once. Obito grabbed his fan with both hands and swung it wide, creating a small vortex of strong wind that knocked all 3 clones back, destroying them. However, with his outstretched weapon arm, Naruto came from above him. This moment was eerily similar to how the 4th Hokage, Naruto's father, beat Obito. However, Obito stopped it with his fan. However, he didn't feel any pressure that the thought he would and looked only to see Naruto's foot on the fan and Naruto creating thousands of shadow clones each with a Rasengan in their hands. Ah! Meteor shower! Rasengan! The clones yelled at once. The real Naruto left while all of his clones hammered Obito with Meteor shower, Rasengan. It takes a full 10 minutes before it ended. Ugh! Boom! The shockwave shook the YJ and Y group. It knocked them off their feet. However, they got back up to see Naruto far from the epicenter. Naruto was breathing hard and was huffing and wheezing, his hands placed on his knees to hold himself up. His eyes have dark rings underneath them as a sign of exhaustion. However, if one looks closer to him, you would see a vortex forming behind him. It seems you're fresh out of chakra. Naruto looks shocked and looks behind him to see Obito. Before Naruto can react, Obito grabs his neck and raises him up. This battle is over. I win! Obito started to use his last bit of chakra to use Kamui to claim Naruto, Kurama and victory and doom of this world. Naruto bit down on his food pill. So what if I'm out of chakra? Naruto brought out a trikunai. Obito stopped it. Naruto let it go only to reveal a paper bomb on it. Obito saw this and couldn't do anything about it. Boom! Arg! Obito felt most of the blast in his weakened state. The next thing Obito saw was Naruto and his fist. My fist is all I need. With the hearts, dreams, and hopes of 2 whole worlds. To quote ones I respect. Eat fist, bitch. Naruto sung his fist. Obito tried to grab his hand but failed. Naruto's fist connecting with Obito's mask, cracking it. Ah! Naruto put more power into the attack then slammed Obito into the ground. Dirt and rocks kicked up and throws Naruto back. Above the dirt that was kicked up was yet another Naruto, a shadow clone, and in its hand was a Rasen Shuriken. It slammed into a down Obito. He had no chance to escape. The high-pitched sound nearly deafened the now near-silent battlefield. Yendi Soundtrack 57, Extended, The Final Showdown, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Ost. Huff, huff! Naruto managed to stand up as Obito began to fall. Obito fell in the crater that his clone had created. Naruto tried to go down where Obito is, but he fell in the crater a few feet from him. The 2 groups plus Vicky's group ran to the edge to see what will happen next. Naruto walked up to Obito. It's over, Obito. That jutsu cuts you at the molecular level. Your chakra network is destroyed, and your muscles are torn and shredded. You're done, I've won. Naruto huffed out. So, it seems. How? How could you have won? How could I have lost to you? He asked no one in particular. I won't argue ideals with you, Obito. I'm going to kill you before I pass out, and this will be the instrument of your doom. He brought out a trikunai with a paper bomb. Obito smiled. His mask had been destroyed and Naruto could see his face. This isn't over, the fallen will rise again. Obito smiled at the irony of the situation. We could have been gods, the both of us, Naruto. It's funny. I no longer need to live. Naruto. I will say this last thing to you. I leave the fate of this world to you, but sooner or later, you'll become just like me. Naruto had heard enough. He threw the kunai in the neck of Obito. The paper caught fire then blew up, taking out Obito's upper half of his body. Naruto became dizzy then dropped, only to be caught by Artemis. Naruto looked at Artemis and smiled weakly. Artemis smiled back. I will never let you fall. Naruto, chapter end.